Well, maybe.
I do know that if I ever, in the future, was ever single, and I went to the brothel,
Yeah.
and I spent that kind of money, I would make sure, though, that I took whatever, because I would want to make it to where the women would walk out there like, I want the other girls to be like, you made how much? You're like, oh, it was barely worth it. Jesus Christ, I'm not going to sit down for a week. You know what I mean? Like, I would want to go down legendary status. Like, I'm like, fuck this.
It would be like a competition.
Yeah, oh,
He fucked a hole in me, for sure.
yes. Come on. I mean, look, as a fighter, like, if you're going to do something, I'm going to do it. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't go to the gym just to hit pads. I'm like, I want to learn how to, I'm going to be the best at this. So, like, I want to make it to where, like, and because they're working girls, and not girls you're going to date, like, I would want them to be, like, uncomfortable with the situation finished.
Yeah, we're going to the next level.
Right. I mean, like,
Let me tell you that it would be way cheaper just to hand them a script of what you want them to say, and believe me, they'll say it.
see, now I got to earn it.
Okay. Yeah, you don't want to cheat your way.
No.
You don't want to buy that medal at a swap meet.
No,
I
got to compete
you
for
want to
it.
go in and buy it and have the three girls laying on the bed and stand like, that was me.
Yeah.
That was me.
I have the picture afterwards of them just, like, you know, running makeup, crying, just like, like,
couple days off work, you know.
yeah, you know what I mean? Like, just ice packs coming in, you know what I mean? Like, just.
That happens. That's happened.
That's what happens when a couple alpha male runs into the brothel.
Right.
See?
So.
That's happened.
What up, everybody? It's the Sound of Violence podcast. Welcome back yet again. This is Pulver. I am here with my co-host, Chris Madaffer. What up, bruh?
What a great fucking card last weekend, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And holy shit, what an intro we had this week. Thanks to Phonebooth Fighting podcast. Amazing episode.
Nuts.
Donald Cerrone and Laura Senko in studio talking about Donald Cerrone and how Frank Mir would handle brothels if they went to them.
And they would need ice packs.
Yeah, no. And Richard Hunter confirms would not be the first time. Holy shit, what an intro. I figured we would start with that just to fucking dissuade any people who don't like swearing or awfulness on a podcast. Also, I am cracking open a Cutwood.
Cutwater? You always say Cutwood?
Shit. Cutwood is the vape company. Cutwater is the
Spirits company?
Yeah, the Ballast Point Spirits company. I'm drinking Fugu Vodka Mule from Cutwater. Real good. I'm pretty excited about it. But if you guys have not heard the show before, we are an MMA podcast that lets you know what MMA podcast you should be listening to, because no one has enough goddamn time in their day, including us. So we break our show down into a couple different segments. First segment, we're going to go through, talk about the MMA podcast you should be listening to, the MMA podcast you should skip for the week, the MMA podcast you have to catch. We also are going to talk about a new show that we listened to this week, and then we're going to get into our other segments where we just talk about last week's 214 card, the Tuesday Night Contender Series, which was goddamn chaos. Maybe we'll even mention Ryzen at some point with the fucking chaos that happened there. And then we're going to break down tomorrow, actually, when we're recording this, tomorrow night, Mexico City card that is happening with us.
Sergio Pettis and Brandon Moreno, the main event.
That's true. It almost sounded like I was saying Sam Alvey was fighting Sergio Pettis, which would watch.
Yep, of course.
I'd watch the shit out of that fight, mostly just to see who. Only if it was like a 20-round fight, and also if the cage was like 30 times bigger. Just so Sergio could run and Sam could chase him.
Yeah.
Like the world's... I think I'm just rooting for that Joe Rogan fight league that he always talks about, where they should fight on soccer fields with no gloves and no time.
If it was 2 rounds, I would like get a minute and a half apiece each round and make it kind of entertaining too.
Or make it like 30... Or make it like 35 minutes a round and just have it for 5 rounds. Like, maybe just have it so it's like the most boring. Anyway, weird segue into this week's episode. Full disclosure, this week's episode is sponsored by, we'll go with Cutwater, unofficially, obviously, as always. We are also unofficially sponsored by the Blarney Stone, which I was drinking at today. If y'all are ever in San Diego, go to the Blarney Stone. Shout out Chris or Pulver and get nothing off your drink other than a weird look.
And the Blarney Stone in Claremont on Balboa, not the Blarney Stone, which is the same affiliation in downtown or in East County.
There's what? There's two other ones?
Yeah, the one I went to was downtown. I went to the Padre game.
Those sound terrible.
No, the one to the Padre game was tight, dude. The one downtown, fucking amazing. Super huge. Yeah, like I should have been playing there. You know what I mean, dude? Like,
it's pretty tight.
And they have food. Shepherd's pie was great.
What?
Yeah.
This is so different than the Claremont one, where it's just all the tweakers that have super not drug connections. Don't ask for drugs there. They don't got drugs there.
You know what? If it's like that here, you know it's worse than El Cajon.
That's a good point. Go to El Cajon if you want drugs. Although I shouldn't have to be telling you this. So now that we've talked about where to get drugs at bars in San Diego, we're going to go ahead and get into format. Oh boy. It's really just hard to segue off of that intro we have more than anything.
Yeah.
Anytime you have two fighters talking about fucking hookers to the point where they need ice packs, it's always tough to recover. So, Chris, why don't you segue us into whatever MMA podcast people should catch this week?
The one I think they should catch this week is Anik and Florian.
Good show, actually.
I enjoyed this one. They kind of went into quickly the main event from 214, which was John Jones versus Daniel Cormier 2.
Yep.
They both scored the first two rounds for DC. I think one of them might have given it 1-1.
I think one of them did.
I think
Florian,
Kenny I get 1-1, which is I think what I had, and I think you had it as well. When we were
no, I had it 2-0.
Oh, you had it 2-0?
DC, because
okay.
you actually were the one that said 1-1 Jones when we were texting during the fight.
Oh, yep, that's right. They said Jones was able to capitalize on feints and using teeps throughout the fight and various methods of attacking DC's body. Dominic Cruz is the guest, by the way. Dominic Cruz, excellent guest on the show. He's saying he was softening him up.
It was a good
he's saying DC's a shorter fighter and should have attacked the taller fighter's body with more inside attacks. I know that's what he was landing on Jones as well. I think that the biggest thing that surprised me is he didn't attempt any takedowns or utilize any wrestling.
Yeah, but I think
there was nothing there, though.
Yeah, like, it wasn't like they were in clinch range ever, really.
It was too much separation and stuff.
Well, and fucking DC was doing good on the feet and against the cage, like, the entire time. I felt like, although we will get more into this later, because I need to rewatch that fight. I was a little drunk when it happened. I started getting real trashed after Tanya Evinger lost, understandably. Because y'all know I'm a Tanya Evinger homer.
Dominic Cruz said, getting hit in the head is like a speed bump because it doesn't hurt that much. It just makes everything dizzy. You don't lose aggression.
Right, it's not like the body.
Yeah, exactly. He said body strikes are painful and wear you down through the fight and make you gas real fast. Very good points. They said Woodley is fighting to win for himself and his family. I agree. He loves his fans, but don't ever expect a Justin Gaethje mentality or approach to his fights. Yeah, I think to be fair, though, more of his last fights have just been stylistic strategies.
That too, but I don't think his style is
he's not even
good
really,
for a Justin Gaethje style fight. Like, he's too much of a power puncher to throw that much volume.
I don't even know what his chin is like. I know he's been knocked down in the past pretty bad.
But he got knocked out by like Nate Marquardt
when he was fucking
knocks out anybody back then. Yeah,
and I was at 185 too.
Yeah, exactly. Tyron he throws way too fucking hard to have any kind of volume game. I think that should be pretty clear. I think that's why people get so pissy at him, is because, like, I think people understand that, like, oh, bro, you're so ripped that you can't have any kind of output.
Yeah, what are you gonna guess?
And also, like, hey, Damian Maia is constantly shooting double legs at you 5 times around. Why are you not throwing 400 punches around?
Yeah. With that whole fight, it wasn't for casuals at all. It's for people who really respect the approach to a fight.
Well, and I want to watch it again here in a minute, because we haven't gotten to that. I tried to go through and rewatch the fights before we talk about them, and definitely that's one I want to rewatch, because at the time, I fucking loved his performance, but I was trash. So I want to get another look.
I was a little buzzed, and all I said, because I know like Blake and someone was like, oh yeah, I could see why people hated on this fight. Really wasn't that excited. I'm like, yeah, but what else are you gonna do against Damian Maia?
Yeah, exactly. I think people just don't know what Damian Maia's
like the first fight, like his first fight against Wonder Boy, Woodley's first fight was fireworks because he didn't exactly know how to approach a dangerous striker like Wonder Boy, and that's why it was a draw. But then the second fight, he's like,
fight, he blistered him late in the fight, and then people hate that one more.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I thought the fight was pretty lame. It wasn't like exciting or anything, but
it's what you should expect.
Yeah, it's because I don't think... Because Woodley probably knows that he's not nearly as talented as a striker to even stand and bang with someone like Wonder Boy. You know,
and they're counter punchers.
Yeah, they're counter punchers too, especially Woodley.
Hey, spoiler alert, Momos. If you are thinking this weekend's fucking Rashad Evans-Sam Alvey fight is going to be a bunch of fireworks, they're both counter punchers.
Yeah, especially Sam
in
Alvey.
High altitude. So... For sure,
yeah, Mexico's like way higher than like fucking Denver, dude.
Sam Alvey walks forward, but he's a counter puncher. So expect Sam Alvey to walk forward, expect Rashad to flinch a lot, and expect Sam to throw barely more output.
And Sam will just cover up because he's a boxer too.
And like, yeah, we'll talk about it in a bit.
Anyways, I'll keep moving on.
It's the same thing.
Yeah. Anik and Florian were saying they don't know many people who fight Maia and don't get submitted or Wonder Boy and don't get knocked out.
No one does that.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way. Who stops 24 takedowns in a fight?
No one.
Ever.
Except for the best.
23 because he grabbed the cage once.
Yeah. He actually grabbed the cage twice.
Well, right, but one of them really stopped the takedown.
Yeah.
Again, we will rewatch
either
this
way,
before we
they
talk
said
about
Woodley
it.
smart in his approach. They asked Dominic, hey, what's new with you? They said he hasn't heard much from the UFC. Says he would have taken the rematch with Cody a couple months ago, but he said not because he didn't want to hold up the division with his foot injury. I agree. That's a good point that he made.
Yeah.
Why rush into a title fight where you're still going to be hurt and at a disadvantage with your movement?
Yep.
I wouldn't even mind if he doesn't fight a year from now, like summer 2018, as long as he's good. He said a 25-year-old champ. He expected him to start defending his title immediately. He didn't expect the back injury. He says he's glad Cody only got back injections and didn't get actual surgery. He says he understands Cody's hurt.
Everyone
he says he's been there, done that. That's why he's no beef or gripes with that.
Well, and everyone that knows anything about back surgery is always happy when someone doesn't get back surgery because that generally is not a good way to go. It's not a way to stay an athlete to get back surgery.
And the good point he made too.
And
the good point he made too is like, if Cody's out for some time, he's like, only put up an interim title because it moves the division forward instead of putting it, and it's just like a stalemate.
I'm always for interim titles like we've talked about because people get paid for that.
Yeah, and he was saying the only interim fight that makes sense is it would be against TJ. He says he can't go down in rankings. Yeah. I agree. Why not? Yeah. He's beaten TJ before, and if he's healthy and wants an interim shot,
he's a
good shot again. So. That was it with that. Lastly, they said, what's next for Daniel Cormier, Volkan Oezdemir, or Manoa, perhaps? We will just have to see. And then Ray Longo was on at the end, praising Aljamain Sterling, his guy, for his great performance against Hannibal. So that's my catch this. Sorry, I went a little long on that. But,
no, that's perfect. And yeah, Ray Longo was fun towards the end of that, although nothing specific I have to point out. It was just fun as always. Oh boy, Chris, my catch this week is fucking... it's not a good MMA pick. As you will attest to. How did you feel about JRE 991, the 214 recap with Eddie Bravo?
Wait, which one?
Did you listen to the 214 recap with Eddie Bravo that Joe Rogan did?
Oh, yeah. Like,
where for the first
an hour of it, and it was talking about...
The first full hour was 9/11 and the moon landing conspiracies.
And him saying he
and
would be...
Tower 7.
Yeah, he'd be sure that 90%, of course, him being subjective as fuck, 90% of all who was the architects would agree that Tower 7 was an inside job.
I think he literally said
demolition.
90% of architects agree.
And then Joe kept saying, he's like, who have you talked to? And he's like, there's one guy.
He's like, it's this one guy who's the head of the anti-9/11 thing. Obviously, Joe. Obviously.
Like, okay. Joe cut out a picture. He was so fucking high.
Yeah, no. I mean, to be fair, if you're gonna have conversations with Eddie Bravo, you should be really high. I totally agree.
You'd probably be more annoying sober.
Well, and not only that, but like you're really doing yourself and Eddie a disservice and not be completely blazed when talking to him. You know what I mean? I mean, really, what are you doing? Like, if you're gonna have a crazy conversation with Eddie about the moon, you should be really high for it. Which also applies to EBI, which happened this weekend, that I absolutely recommend people checking out. probably the only time I'll mention it, but EBI 12 was this weekend. It's fucking incredible.
Was it the flyweight women?
Yeah, flyweight women tournament. A bunch of literal, like, multiple time, I believe multiple time, but very, very high level IBJJF gold medal winners for, like, multiple different divisions. You had purple belts choking out fucking brown belts and black belts. It was crazy.
Shit.
It was a wild fucking tournament, including the combat jiu-jitsu tournament, which
Is that where they slap the fuck out of each other?
yeah.
Or
By the way,
each other?
yeah, well, yeah, open hand. It's Boston style. It's open hand strikes are allowed as long as you're on the ground. And by the way, Gary Tonin is joining the next combat EBI tournament, which Gary Tonin is the guy who's about to fuck up Dylan Danis for the second time in jiu-jitsu tournament here shortly. I believe on the 19th.
Isn't Tonin only a lightweight too, and Danis like a welter? Yeah. Well, I know weight class don't matter because
Tonin can get down as low as 155, but he's also, I believe he won EBI absolutes
because I was listening to Jack Slack's fights combat. Somehow Tonin fucked up. We didn't fuck him up, but he was doing well against that 225er.
Oh yeah, no, Gary Tonin is a beast. All the DDS guys, all the Danaher Death Squad, because all the John Danaher guys are fucking killers, man. They're all the leg lock masters that have completely changed the way no-gi has been, especially submission only no-gi tournaments have been going. Like him, Eddie Cummins, Ryan. Gordon Ryan, like all the three of those dudes have been running through all the sub only tournaments in an insane way, which was super impressive. Anyway, I'll get back on topic. So they did eventually, after an hour, I believe it was more than an hour of conspiracy talk with Eddie, eventually they start talking. Rogan does a big spiel on the DC situation and how he felt terrible about it and how like it literally kept him up, and he like went out of his way to say like, fuck, like I fucked up. Like the production team didn't even tell me to go and interview DC. I've in the past said how much I hate interviewing guys after they get knocked out. And
especially when he did that against Alistair.
Exactly, and he said he was just so in shock that it was just like DC was there, and like he just walked up to him, and he said as he was walking up to him, he thought to himself like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, this is a terrible idea. And like at that point it's too late, so he just had to like try to gut through it. But he well, yeah, because he's like, I know I'm not supposed to interview, blah blah blah. Well, and he knew right away he fucked up, and he even said like multiple times on his Twitter, on his Instagram, to Daniel, everywhere he's been saying like, I feel horrible and I should not have interviewed Daniel. And that like it was just Rogan was so
motherfuckers on the internet are like using DC as like a crying Jordan kind of effect,
and that's what they start getting into, which was amazing. Because a lot of incredible insight from Joe about that situation. They talk about how like everyone uses like they talk about that DC crying thing, and they talk about like, you know, the picture of crying Jordan that everybody uses is from the fucking Hall of Fame speech, where he's getting recognized as the greatest player of all time. Yeah. Like, it's the most insane thing to shit on somebody for, where you're like, hey, he's mad because he's literally the best of all motherfucking time, and people are being cunts to him. And, like, DC literally gave everything he had, and people are being cunts about it. Like, it's
because people don't root for a nice guy or someone who's like clean.
Well, people just
they like to shit on that because they can't aspire to be that. I guess. Well, they don't want to be that.
Yeah. Hashtag the haters out there. Shouts out to the haters. I fucking hate that phrase, but I fucking hate the haters. Is that original? The first one. I fucking hate that.
Oh my god, you're a haterhead.
Oh my god, I'm a big fan of My First E3 podcast, and we're all about our haters. There's a shout out to Giant Bomb for you, but it was just. It was weird hearing Rogan talk about like sports that he doesn't know about, like basketball, the Michael Jordan thing, and being like, I don't get the fucking DC hate, and Rogan just honestly, he had such an honest conversation about how bad he felt. I thought it was really, it was really worth checking out.
Yeah.
Like if you, it's been all over everything, Reddit, any forum you're on. They've posted it everywhere, but it's absolutely worth checking out just because Rogan was very, very genuine in it. And it was, it probably needs to be heard if you heard the DC thing and you're still using those memes and shit. Like, not that I'm telling you to stop using those memes. Like, there's probably great times to use those memes. But, man.
You know what I'll say about that? The people who post like shit like that, like they make fun of DC for that, is the weirdest fucking people. You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
It's YouTube comment. You know what's the weirdest YouTube comment I fucking saw? What was it? It was when I was up to watching 214 or something like that. Dominic Cruz was like this British chick. I can't remember her name. This blonde, this pretty British chick. It was like an entire preview 214, and then somebody was like Dominic Cruz haters. Someone's like, this dude, all he is with his dog, 100% virgin weirdo or fuckboy, like, and it's like shit like that. Like, people just come up to like this weird, just like this, I don't even know, perceptions.
Every time I see someone like,
it's like, what kind of hate fuel is there? You go there instead of like saying, what do they say next? Oh, he has weird shoes.
Well, every time, see, I'm the kind of asshole that every time I see somebody tweet that kind of shit to a fighter, like tweet one of those like sad, like the people used to fucking tweet Rashad the fucking KO face.
Oh, sure. Even the Michael Bisping when he's dressed up like a British soldier.
Yeah, well, that like one's a little bit better.
That is kind of funny.
It is kind of funny. I love Bisping. It's a fucked up picture, but it's a good fucked up picture. It's not nice. I don't support it. You should not bring it up to Bisping unless you want to get hit. But. No, the people who are like tweeting Daniel Cormier the fucking crying meme still, like those people I want to wait and just follow their Twitter until their parent dies and then tweet them the fucking Daniel Cormier
just pull like Eric Cartman.
I want to wait like for this 15-year long joke where I'm like, fucking, I just want to paste back whatever they type to Daniel Cormier when their parent dies. Because you know they're going to tweet it. Because that's the kind of person they are.
Those same assholes are on Instagram. Like,
absolutely.
I just saw this thing Tyron Woodley posted and someone said, you a bitch. Like, DM, like, sure.
Well, yeah, that's just the UG.
Yeah.
If you've been on the underground,
like, what
it's the same shit. But we're way off topic.
Yeah,
but
sorry. I just had to get it out of the way. Like, come on, like, these fake motherfuckers on social media.
That's a great point. The only other thing I was going to mention is Eddie talks about how he thinks Kim Jong-un doesn't even live in North Korea. It's all holograms.
Let me guess, he lives in Central Korea?
He says it's all holograms. He probably lives in New York or something.
We're still hot.
He says it's also probably connected to Tower 7. Eddie talks about how
Kim Jong-il ordered the
Eddie talks about how since teen blood infusions have shown advantages, rich people are probably going to be using babies nowadays. Let's see. Here's a quote. You don't think a trillionaire wants toddler blood? That's a real quote right there. Maybe that'll be one of our clips this week. Eddie explains the difference between forgetting memories and misplacing memories. That's a drunk reference. Let's see. Rogan says bear tastes like a pig fucked a cow. It's a really weird episode, but they're very clearly super baked. They start watching foreign bear vs. lion zoo videos, where I kind of checked out for a bit.
Great.
Yeah, there's the history of Jaws. Oh, they start talking about how Jaws
the movie, right?
Yeah, it originally came from the idea of is actually a freshwater shark, which is where that came from, which is why it's so much scarier.
No, that should have been a movie.
It was. It was Jaws 3, I think. It was the freshwater one.
Oh, I think you're right.
I think it was the third one.
Well, because there was a shitty fucking shark movie that came out about 2 or 3 years ago where there were sharks that were put in freshwater in a lake or some shit. There was some genetically modified. It was like Deep Blue Sea or like Genius Sharks or something dumb. But
yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty goofy.
I think it's because there was that one movie, what was it, Lake Placid with a giant croc? That's probably what they did.
Something like that. Let's see. The only other things Eddie said that was kind of crazy. Oh, he talked about his weird food preferences, like how he likes McDonald's because he knows it's not meat. And
that's fucking assuring.
Yeah. The phrase "I think God put chickens on this planet for us" was as food was a quote. And they also the quote, they call me Illuminati was on the fucking podcast. So just if you've never heard Eddie Bravo on a Joe Rogan podcast, you should listen. And if you have, you'll know whether or not you should listen to that episode. But it was just weird enough, and they covered enough crazy shit that I thought it was worth bringing up.
Yeah, I definitely got to catch the end of that.
Yeah, it got real fucking
I know
weird.
I know the show was like 3.5 hours long.
But they did not talk almost at all about the fights, which is what he billed it as. We're going to recap 214, and then it was like an hour and a half of
honestly,
like Buzz Aldrin not really going into space.
The regular listeners.
Yeah.
Because I did see one comment like, "Oh, who the fuck is this Eddie Bravo tool? Why is he such a conspiracy theorist?" I'm like, you don't get the whole point.
No, it's like listening to a weird fucking Joey Diaz episode and being like, why is this guy so mad about chicken wings? You're like, you don't get it. Like, ranch is not acceptable. Fucking Joey Diaz. By the way, Joey Diaz had a great he had the Chris from Kid and Play on recently. Real good episode. Check that out.
Oh, on Church, what's happening? Yeah.
Church. Anyway, way off topic. Why don't you bring us to our skip for this week?
Skip it.
What episode did you find not worth your goddamn time? Full disclosure.
Skip it is this right here.
Before we do it, full disclosure. If we are saying to skip your episode, we are not saying to skip your show entirely. We are saying this episode was so rough to listen to or so not worth the time it spent to hear that
fast forward?
it is literally better off for your show that people don't hear it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's worse than skipping it.
Yeah, no, because I feel like skipping it improved the those are the kinds of episodes.
Less listening, yeah.
Well, that and it's just like people don't have to hear like 14 minutes of Luis Gomez talking about fidget spinners or whatever.
So I'll say right now, we know our boy Joel Superna.
Oh, is my new podcast of the week your skip of the week?
Well, this is my real skip.
Okay.
Like the actual skip, like just don't listen to this at all.
Yeah.
It's his podcast. It's Joel's podcast.
Okay. There you go. It's
called 8291.
Nope, 8192.
8192. I'm dyslexic. The Truth.
Yeah, 8192 The Truth, because the name was already taken.
And what was it? His reign in like his wrestling record from like 81 to 92?
No, I believe it was between 81 and 92. He would just beat the fuck out of people on the street.
Oh, Westland, Oregon.
Yeah. He was like...
He was the original American gangster,
right.
pre-chael.
He's like, if this is between the years 81 and 92, I would just hand to you right now, brother. Those kinds of conversations.
And speaking of my real skip, I'll get to the actual skip it. How many times did he say brother?
Oh, a lot. Actually, why don't we get to your real skip? Yeah. Because we'll go over the Joel one.
Because this was a fucking special.
It should be noted that the Joel one is a skip. Despite it being our new episode for this week, which we will talk about briefly, but... Oh boy.
So here's my real skip it, and this was still a decent episode. It was 5 rounds of Brett Okamoto.
I agree.
ESPN. I liked his insight, but it was just kind of boring.
Yeah, I vote for his podcast as a skip a lot, mostly because of his new fucking co-host.
Oh, the Arda guy?
Yeah, I don't like him. Arda. I don't like him.
He's kind of weird.
Yeah, I like him about as much as I like Chael's fucking producer talking on air. Yeah. Which, by the way, I don't like you, bro. Whoever you are, shut your fucking mouth.
Real quick, let's just get let's say from out of all the podcasts,
New York Rick.
Let's see which producers. I don't like New York Rick. Well,
I like New York.
He's okay. When he's on the camera, I was like, "Who's this discount Jon Snow?" Because I remember he had that look, and he was trying to look like dude from Game of Thrones.
Best producer, TJ.
TJ's the best. New York Rick's pretty good for MMA Hour. I really like Chris, the producer from Unfiltered.
Yeah,
he has, the fucking sound
only
effects.
Because he's so good at getting shit on and not being mad about it.
Yeah, come on, Chris, the producer.
Chen is pretty good from Big Brown Breakdown.
Yeah.
Chen is pretty good. Fucking that one chick who used to work with Brendan was the worst though. Whatever the fuck her name was.
I don't know.
The Asian girl who's real good looking. She was awful.
Now I gotta go back.
Yeah, Jordan Breen's show had a pretty good. They had Lindsay from K-Rock. for a little bit.
Roganella, yeah.
Well, because Lindsay was literally the fucking love line, like one of the people who worked. She would literally work love line because I know her from that fucking job because it was fucking. She's friends with Krista, the fucking bomb chick from After Disaster. There's some inside fucking KSLS.
So yeah, producers. There we
KLS,
go. Really. Brett was saying Woodley, talked about Tyron Woodley because he was getting messages about people asking, but hey, what about that Woodley fight? That fucking sucked. Well, to casuals. He said Woodley's trying to market himself as one of the best welterweights of all time. Always faces number one contenders. Very true. Fought Wonderboy twice and fought Maya. Both were number one contenders.
Oh, despite asking for fucking giant fights, yeah.
Speaking of which, the new number one contender in the welterweight division, Wonderboy again. Do we think he's going to fight Woodley a third time? It would make sense, unfortunately, at this point, because that division's kind of like. I've been
hearing weird Nick Diaz rumors, which is kind of hilarious.
I'm sorry, like I just refuse to believe the Diaz brothers are going to fight.
Well,
no, especially Nick. Nick clearly doesn't care.
Well, Nick is also under questionable suspension by USADA.
Yeah, meaning he doesn't give a fuck. Yeah. Dana shouldn't be dragging down Woodley, of course not. Woodley should take time off and watch the division unfold. Yeah, I agree. Fuck it, why not? He did tear his labrum in the shoulder during that fight, which is insane, the fact that he was able to fucking just continue as he did.
Yeah, and I heard he actually got a follow-up look from a doctor where he might not have surgery.
He doesn't need surgery, right, which is good.
Because he already had surgery on that shoulder, he said.
Ooh, yeah.
On that labrum before. So that's probably why they're recommending not having surgery again if he can avoid it. I'm guessing, though, that means it's going to be one of these things where they wait 2 months and see how he's feeling. Which at that point they might decide he still needs surgery, because that's generally from the couple times I've had.
I think he's gonna have to get surgery.
From the couple times I've had serious joint injuries and stuff, they generally will give you like a we'll look at this 2 month period. Dude, if you improve,
he'll be out for a year. That's what they probably have some bullshit interim crap.
Nah, he'll be out for like 9 months. I wouldn't.
No, he'll be out for like a fight. A fighter usually fights, which would be unfortunate. But I'd rather be healthy.
Yeah.
They said, looks like Cub Swanson Aldo is kind of molding together.
I mean, it's a weird fight. I don't know if I really have
You don't have I don't have a dog in that fight.
I don't just have a feel for it. Like, I just don't know what to expect from either one of those dudes in that fight.
Flying 8 seconds? Probably not.
No, I definitely don't expect that.
I know, I'm kidding.
Yeah, that's true. I just don't even recognize that last fight as a fight because it happened so fucking long ago, and they're both such different people now.
Yeah, it was the W.
Actually, you know what? I kind of do want to see that fight again.
Actually, that fight be real good now.
Because I feel like you owe it to Cub, and Cub has fucking worked his ass off.
And he definitely wants to run that shit back.
Big
probably,
wins. He's wanted that forever. Yeah. He's been asking for that fight for a long time. I actually, you know what? Yeah, Cubs are in that fucking fight. Give Cubs that fight.
That'll probably happen. Fuck it.
And Jose, it'd be good for Jose. If Jose,
you know what? Knowing 217, they'll probably throw it on there, dude. You know, stacked out, you making more Cubs than fucking Jose Aldo.
That's a good
Madison Square Garden.
Like, if you're Jose, you gotta like that matchup. Like, that's a good style matchup for you. But yeah, I think Cub earned that.
Brett reminded listeners, Rashad Evans is fighting this weekend. Unfortunately, people forget. Still Rashad Evans, though. He's done a lot.
I didn't forget, and we'll talk about a podcast later that didn't forget. But
many fights ago, the guest was Luke Rockhold. He was asking for
super fucking generic Luke Rockhold.
He wasn't. He didn't talk as slow this time.
True, but like Submission Radio, at least get like fun questions out of him.
Yeah, that's what made him.
This was just like classic, like. So, Luke Rockhold, have you been seeing models lately or actresses?
Yeah, right.
Are you acting, brah?
Yeah. ESPN shit.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is. It's ESPN shit.
Dwayne Wade, LeBron.
Which, like, you would expect better from fucking Brett Okamoto. He's better than that.
I'm surprised he didn't go, Luke, would you ever fight LeVar Ball?
Yeah, It just feels like he's not in control of that show anymore. It's starting to feel like he has nothing to do with the direction of that show. Yeah. Like, then again, I haven't followed that show that long.
Luke Rockhold wants to ruin David Branch and send a message to the division. Sure.
I would imagine he would. I'm still.
He says Michael Bisping is no different than Jermaine Durand to me. He's running scared. Okay. I wouldn't say
He didn't vacate the division.
Okay, I only feel like the one person Biz would be scared of is maybe Yoel.
Even then, I don't think he's scared of him. I think he just would prefer not to fight his juiced up ass.
Yeah.
Like, quite literally.
I mean, I could see that point of view, too. Like, he just thinks he's roided, so fuck it. I get it. But the whole GSP, and I get the GSP thing, he wants to fight GSP because of the money.
And Bisping said, I won't fight Yoel. He's like, listen, my plan is I want to fight GSP, I want to fight Robert Whittaker, and I want to.
It's only because Robert Whittaker's out for a while.
Well, no, Bisping said, I want to fight. I think he said this week even on his podcast. He said, I want to fight GSP, I want to fight Robert Whittaker, and I want to retire.
Oh, okay.
He's like, Yoel does nothing for me.
To be fair, he knows he could beat GSP.
Yeah, and Robert Whittaker is the dude to retire off of if you're Bisping and you win or lose.
If you lose, there's no shame in that, and if you win, you look like the shit.
Exactly. That's the perfect, that's the way to do it.
How about you? What is your skip it?
So my skip for the week, I believe, if I'm looking at this correctly, you segued quite well into it. Guess what it is? Believe You Me, episode 22, where Bisping talks about...
Your boy Luis Gomez?
Yep, your boy Luis Gomez ruins things as usual. Let's see, here's a quote. If you're not fighting in the UFC and you're a 135-pound female, you're not very good. Thanks, Luis Gomez, for telling us how Tanya Evinger, the girl who has been murdering all the girls from the UFC and Invicta, is not very good because she's not in the UFC.
Dude, I would actually love her chances right now against Amanda Nunes.
Well, anyone who knows anything about fucking Tanya Evinger knows the reason why she's not in the UFC. If I fucking know this, Luis Gomez, you should goddamn know this, is because Sean Shelby fucking hates her. He hates her so bad.
What'd she do to him?
I don't know, but he hates her personality so fucking bad. It's been stated. Multiple podcasts have said this. Luke Thomas has said this. I don't know if TJ said it actually because he's involved. But Luke Thomas has said it. Multiple fucking podcasts have said it. I think Ben Volks and Chad Dundas might have mentioned it. Fucking Sean Shelby hates Tanya Evinger. He hates her personality. He thinks she's not marketable, and that's why she wasn't in the UFC. She's been murdering everybody in Invicta outside of one DQ where she stood on a girl's face and fucking...
Oh, your boy Mike England?
Your boy Mike England was a fuckboy about it. It's just so upsetting. So that's how that episode started, which did not put me on Lewis's side. He goes on to say how... I wrote down that he shows once again how fucking uneducated about the sport he is. Bisping starts to shit on Lewis and say Tanya is tough as fuck. Although, unfortunately, then Mike Bisping also calls her a heavy bag with eyes right after.
Oh, my. Which
is also super not nice. Lewis keeps being disrespectful for someone who doesn't fucking fight at all. He talks about the GC Jones fight. Lewis goes on sucking John's dick for a while.
I was gonna say, was he the asshole who goes, I told you guys John was gonna win?
He was just sucking John's dick about how John's the best, and obviously DC never had a chance. Then they obviously cut something out when Lewis is in the middle of a rant where I'm sure he said something horrible.
Sorry, I don't like...
Oh, hey, look, yeah, there's a fucking spider over there being weird. I will deal with that shit on the break. Let's see. Lewis keeps going on to say horrible fucking things. Let's see. Lewis says things like, there's no way John beats Brock. Yeah, he says he just gets laid on. Bisping says he's a Mormon.
He's a what?
I almost said Mormon.
I was like, are you trying to say moron? But it sounded like Mormon.
Bisping called...
It's like a Mormon.
Yeah. Bisping called Lewis a Mormon. I almost said Mormon again.
He's a fucking Mormon. Mormon, same thing. Just kidding, guys. I don't actually mean that.
We'll go with the UG version. Bisping called Lewis a moron and said that he'd obviously just get laid on by Brock. Then Lewis at some point he explains how he has to hang up on Bisping to call Uriah because of whatever fucking ghetto-ass Skype solution they have going on. I don't know what Skype solution that is, but it's bad. I'm guessing that means Bisping is calling in on a phone.
Oh, no, he's probably on Skype Wi-Fi.
No.
Where like you have to be like in a cafe and like.
So both. I think Lewis is on hotel Wi-Fi. Bisping is calling in from a phone, and they have to call another fighter's phone. So that I think what they're having to do is Lewis is having to call Bisping or having to call the fighter's phone and then add Bisping also. Either way, I should not have to hear about this on the fucking podcast, nor should I have to hear about it 3 fucking times when they fail the calls and keep like going back to like.
Let me guess, did they have the ringing in there too?
Yes, Chris.
Wow.
Chris,
wow.
Literally, I said.
How do you do that?
Also, do we really need to hear 3 minutes of Skype ringing and then hear Uriah's voicemail message before bringing Michael Bisping back on?
Hey guys, this is Uriah. Favorite so I can get to you.
Yeah.
Talk to you as soon as I can. Shaka, bro.
Yeah, no, it was like, and announcing out of the blue corner. You're right. It was like a old WEC intros when he asked for his ringtone.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. Let's see. Oh, and then Mike Bisping finally announces that the GSP fight is official for 216. Which is good timing on my fantasy pick that I did the day before that.
Oh, we at the end we should shout out our fantasy squad.
Well, so I'm thinking we'll bring it up during the fight picks this week since I have 3 people on my fantasy team fighting. Yeah, if you guys don't know, we joined the magwar.com fantasy league.
And I have Juan pick, to be fair.
Hey, I got you that Juan pick, and it's a good one, so you should fucking enjoy it. Let's see, where was I? Oh my god, okay. I think I pretty much brought up everything. Mike Bisping, which I fucking love him for, shits on Impractical Jokers and says it's a fucking terrible show that no one should think it's funny with a sense of humor.
Guess why the only time in life I've ever seen that show? Yeah. Getting my hair cut.
Also, it's fucking not funny.
It's
like,
not.
The thing is, the guys are very nice, so they're friends with a lot of people in LA.
Pretty cool.
Like, I've heard them on shows, and they're friends with people like Anderson Cowan.
Like,
and
they
a bunch
look
of guys
like real cool as fuck chill dudes.
Yeah.
But as far
I've heard them on, they're good on podcasts too. They're funny, like
the only
on shows.
I remember I've only like don't get.
But their show is garbage.
Yeah, the show is garbage. I don't know. I've chuckled a couple times based on like reactions and like I get it like reactions to people, but yeah, as far as the concept, it's like it seems so forced and contrived.
It is exactly those things. Yeah,
like, what the fuck?
It's the easiest, cheapest kind of comedy.
And one of the guys is distracting, and the fact that he literally looks like MCA from the Beastie Boys, so that's kind of weird.
Yep. And then I'll close out my skip anyway, since this ties in. Since it's just Lewis shitting on Tyron and complaining, because of course he does, because he's such a casual fuckboy. Wow, that's spiders on the ceiling.
I'm good. Yeah, I don't like spiders, but yeah,
it's a little spider, so we should be alright.
Good.
But yeah, it was just a lot of Lewis complaining and just not having any real opinion or anything. Just kind of fucking
whining. Did he go
whining.
off topic and talk about his kids?
I don't think he did. I don't think he talked about fidget spinners. I'm sure he mentioned some gay shit though. Knowing Lewis.
I like him just so fucking blunt about it.
No, I don't mean homosexual. I mean like...
I know. I'm not saying that. No, I know.
Fidget spinner-esque.
I know you don't mean that,
I
dude.
say.
I know you don't mean that. I know people listen to...
I mean, he could literally have said he'd blow Michael. It's super possible. I just didn't catch that part.
With the fidget spinner at the same time.
Yeah, no, he wants to fidget spinner Michael Bisping's asshole. I think we all know that. But now that we've wrapped up my skip for the week, which I'm not going to repeat the name of now that I just said that phrase, why don't you get into
but you can't miss.
Yeah, what podcast do you think people, or what MMA podcast do you think people must listen to this week?
For me, it was the Luke Thomas live chat. I liked this
really
one a lot.
Good.
I liked the questions from the fans. He started off. Someone asked, who should Volkan Oezdemir fight next, by the way? I remember I listened to Fights Gone By. Jack Slack calls him Volkan Ivan Oezdemir.
Yeah.
They have that now. I can't get rid of that in my head. So who should Ivan Oez fight next? Luke wants Gustafsson versus Jones too. So do I.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
And he says Oezdemir should fight Teixeira. He says he shouldn't fight Teixeira, but he wouldn't mind if that happened.
He should fight Teixeira.
And he probably should.
I think that's a fair matchup at this point. It's not like it doesn't necessarily make sense ranking wise, but like otherwise, what's he do? Just sit out and wait for 6 months? Yeah. Like, dude is on a run, and I like that. If he fucks up Teixeira, guaranteed, like, if not title shot.
Oh, since he knocked him out in a minute again, then like clearly he has what's wrong with his hands. Clearly,
and Teixeira is known for covering up against the cage and the clinch. Like, he's lost fights doing that exact same thing in his Rumble. So, like, you gotta wonder, right?
Yeah. Luke Thomas, another fellow European, Tom Duquesnoy, is still doing pretty well in bantamweight. He says he likes him to fight Rob Font next. I think that'd be a pretty fun matchup, too.
That'd be a very fun matchup.
Rob Font's always a game fighter. Kind of always brings it 100%. His biggest question from a fan, where the hell is Khabib Nurmagomedov lately?
He is, if you've
I think he's training.
He's been traveling a lot.
Or getting in shape.
He might be getting in shape. I know he's been traveling a lot. To like,
I know they are
random,
rumored trying to add that card somehow as well to November 4th. And for an update for what this is all.
Nobody involved in that fight though has all said they're interested in it.
Yeah, I know. This theoretically.
Like, not even Tony and Khabib have just constantly said they don't like that fight.
Theoretically, 217 could look like GSP, Michael Bisping. I don't even know if that'd be the main event. You would have.
I thought 216.
No, 217 is MSG November 4th. So you'd have
you're right. That's Bisping and GSP.
You'd have Michael Bisping and GSP. You'd have Cody Garbrandt, TJ Dillashaw.
That's like ultra rumor though.
I know. The ultra rumor is Edgar versus Holloway.
That's like even double ultra rumor because that one is like Holloway's in contract dispute.
Supposedly there's going to be Khabib versus Tony on there. Like, how stacked.
That'll never happen.
There's no way they'd make it that stacked.
They're like trying to get one of those three on that fight.
And then don't forget today, Joanna versus Rose.
Which is also not confirmed.
Yeah.
Both camps said they haven't even been asked yet, which is hilarious that MMA Today is tweeting that out. Fucking Jesus. Hey, by the way, MMA Today, Chris, you can go ahead and shit on them for almost fucking you on a Rose Namajunas pick. Because they were the assholes who were like, oh, by the way, theoretical fucking...
Well, my only problem is you would text me, you're like, hey, bro, by the way, Randa Marcos fights tomorrow, you should pick her up. I'm like, oh, cool. And then logically, I'm like, who should I drop? Either Cynthia Calvillo...
I even said Rose,
yeah. I was like, you know what? Well, Cynthia Calvillo always fights.
Probably fights
Rose,
more often.
She doesn't.
Rose
so I'm
doesn't.
like, fuck it, I hate to drop her, but maybe
maybe
and then maybe
50
a couple
minutes later.
Like an hour later, yeah. Rose
Not even an hour, it was like 45 minutes.
Yeah, rumored to fight Joanna Jędrzejczyk.
Yep.
Like, what the fuck? Whatever that shit happens. Anyways, moving on. Luke Thomas said Evinger got paid $100,000 for the fight, and he's wondering, is that because they told him, well, you're fighting Cyborg?
That's confirmed. She did get 100 because California Athletic Commission.
Because he was saying, would you really fight Chris Cyborg for $25,000?
Short notice. 4 weeks.
Fuck no.
Or maybe 5 weeks.
So I'm glad Evinger got $100,000.
Yeah.
He was saying, someone asked, is MMA a sport or a spectacle? And this is a quote that Dean Thomas said. I think it's both. Yeah. I think it's a sport and it takes absolute athleticism and skill. In certain martial arts, really, it really is a sport. Sure, fighting is human nature and animal nature. It's been around since the existence of man and animal. But he was saying because of that Woodley fight being booed by casual fans who are the boring chants, I get it. I totally get it. And shit. I get it. If I spent $300 for a ticket, I wouldn't chant boring.
Because we watched the fucking Holly Holm Marion Renault fight in the Y'all want to go back and watch that fucking Fight Night San Diego card, Mir vs. Duffy? Go rewatch that Holly Holm fucking Marion Renault fight where me and Chris were in the audience and being like, I don't understand why people are booing. This is exactly what Holly Holm does. Yeah. I don't know why they'd be upset about this. It's the exact same way I felt about this fight.
Yep.
It's like, it's like how I feel about every Floyd fight. It's like, what the fuck do you expect, bro? Obviously, Damian Maia's going to throw 45 takedowns. Obviously, Tyron's going to stuff 44 takedowns, and he's gonna barely piece him up. What do you want? That's what's gonna happen.
This is the thing. As far as like exciting fights go, my favorite part of the episode is somebody asked, I can't remember their name, should fighters be deducted for defensive fighting without countering? And Luke was saying, Maybe, but only if mixed martial arts or adopts an NFL type rules committee so that there's rule changes every year. Yes, I'd be in favor for that.
See,
I'm not saying like fucking totally bend the rules like crazy or warp them, just some subtle changes.
I agree and disagree. I think defense should be rewarded more.
See, because there are people that should have gone through there. Oh, he's like the Mayweather of the UFC.
I love Mayweather, and I think I think defense.
I love Mayweather the fighter.
Criminally underrated as a fucking art.
There's always been that
MMA.
term. I think it was Vince Lombardi. I think it probably wasn't Vince Lombardi, but some smart coach guy in sports said sometimes the greatest defense is your best offense or something, whatever the fuck it was.
And especially in MMA, like if you're able to shut down someone's main offense,
what are they gonna do?
That's a huge thing. Yeah. And by the way, if you were gonna rate this like a real fight, like if someone only had striking and you only took them down and punched them in the face, guess who wins that fight on the street? If someone only has wrestling and you just stop their takedowns and beat them up in the face, guess who wins that fight in the street? Like, I think it's very silly for us to be like, oh, defense doesn't mean anything, bro, because anybody can defend. No can defend is the secret.
Maybe in the streets, bro, it's a different story. You can't run for me in a parking lot,
everybody needs to be Justin Gaethje or else they can just give the fuck up. Like, bro, come on.
To be fair, all casual MMA fans were in love with the addition of Gaethje.
Oh, by the way, all those fucks should have been watching Justin Gaethje in WSLF, which me and Chris have been for years.
Yeah,
at fucking Players. Remember, we watched both Luis Palomino fights at the fucking Players. Or not Players. I'm sorry, Tap House.
Yeah.
Shouts out to Tap House in Claremont. If you ain't been there, go to Balboa Tap House. It's the shit.
Yep.
Also, you might see what's his face?
Steve.
Is it Steve?
Steve. He's
no. You'll definitely see Steve. I mean, you might see the guy from the Co-Main Event podcast who does the article.
Guy.
Yeah, the guy who does the article with Ben Folks on the regular about the MMA speed bag. No.
I'm thinking of Bleacher Report.
Yeah, we met him. I tweeted about it at one point. Super sweet guy. Previous MMA fighter around in San Diego. I can't remember his name. Yeah, they mention him all the time on the show, and he's a fucking sweetheart.
Luke was saying Jones versus Gustafsson 2 needs to happen this year. Then Lesnar, assuming Jones wins, Lesnar versus Jones would be the first test of heavyweight if he beats Gust. Yeah, would.
I agree with all that.
Yeah. He said, is Woodley trolling fans and hoping he'll be defeated? Probably at this point. Because he knows he has haters, he knows he has loyal fans, so fuck it. Draw out the idiots.
I just think he doesn't give a shit.
He just doesn't care. I remember I said to myself, discuss Luke's breakdown of Jones' fight IQ. He was basically just discussing, he knew, Jones probably knew I could sacrifice 1 or 2 rounds in the beginning, and then just kind of utilize my own game plan with the feints and just kind of setting up that distance stuff, especially with that highlight kick.
And there's that history of the clip. You heard that, right? Of DC being like, John, we both know fucking I only have one weakness, John, and I don't know if we're talking about the same thing. John's like, I think we're talking about the same thing. He's like, something. He's like, oh, Josh Barnett. He's like, oh, we are talking about that same thing. I'm working on that left high kick defense, and then fucking cut 2. Left high kick to the goddamn brain piece.
So good on John Jones for that.
Good on both of them for that. Because that means DC is so high level that he's able to recognize his only weakness ahead of time. Yep. It's just the one... Because if you watch his first fight, he defends that fucking beautifully. It's just the one... It's like that Chris Weidman...
What is crazy, though, too, shows the strength in Jones, the left high kick. Rumble. I know Rumble broke DC's nose in that second fight with the left high kick.
Well, but Rumble throws it different, though.
And because DC was going backwards. Yeah, DC was going backwards, and he didn't go into it.
Rumble throws a switch high kick, whereas Jones switch stances and throws it from both sides. So it's like
more strength behind it.
And he feints into it, whereas Rumble will just literally throw a switch high kick like Henry Hoof style, fucking at your face. He's like, "Fuck your guard! I'll just kick through your guard."
No, that's like just Dutch kickboxing.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, they're like. Boss Rutan style, like, hey, your guard is beautiful. I'm gonna keep kicking it until you don't have one.
Like, I almost guarantee just because it's Henry Hooft and he's a Dutchman too. Like these are, alright guys, Boss Rutan's here to help us out, dude. Like,
he's. Bosworthen's definitely a big Henry Hoops fan.
Luke Thomas was talking about John Jones saying, "Oh, I don't want to talk to you, Luke. I don't like your question." He's basically saying fighters don't owe shit to the media. That's true. MMA journalists, they have their job and their role in just reporting news. That's it. If your relationship with the fighter is poor or good, sure. Can you still be a professional, conduct an interview? Of course.
Also, it got brought up a bunch during the week that Luke Thomas wasn't the only one that got the cold shoulder. He was just the only one on camera that got the cold shoulder about interview questions. And Luke was like, go back and look who has questions from Jones and who doesn't, and it's really clear to see who he doesn't want to talk to.
And Luke was saying, I know I was tough on Jones.
He was never that tough. He was never that tough, though. Yeah. He was 2 or 3 things that were he said, I'm not going to change. And it's all right, don't change whatever you're doing because it doesn't matter. Yeah, do what you want. And it's good that Luke is fucking whatever, bro. If you don't like it.
And I don't want people sucking up to Jones anyway.
No, you don't want Ariel from everybody. You don't want that but you don't like me, bro. Yeah.
Here, let's cut the squash of the beef, bro, right now. Let's talk for another 10 minutes about blah blah. Yeah. Anyways, I was grinding through the rest of this. He said a year ago, Willie became champ at 170. Holy shit, it's already been a year. He said GSP logically should be fighting him right now, but nope. He said keeping Rory McDonald would have been great at this point because you have Roy versus Woodley too.
Yep.
Yeah, or I guess you could do Roy versus Wonderboy too in a way, because then you could do the title eliminator. But anyway, because that would have been a dub rematch too.
Yep.
Anyways, he said Ben Askren versus Woodley would be amazing, but Askren has too many fights left in his contract in ONE FC.
Ben Askren versus Rory would be the coolest.
He can do that. He can go to Bellator.
No, he can't.
They hate him too?
Not based on that.
They hate him too?
They got rid of him as the champion.
Well, wasn't it that one
on
asshole?
A win streak.
Wasn't that one asshole? What's his name? The original guy from Bellator.
Bjorn?
Yeah.
Yeah, but also, Ben Askren does not have a good relationship with Bella. He still shits on them real hard. On the real. So, it's pretty crazy.
Luke Thomas said, what's next for Colby Covington? Currently, he's making a great push, but he isn't in a position to be asking for title shot. I agree. That's just Covington's style and just the way he's trying to just get attention. I don't blame him, though. Maybe he's come across as an asshole, kind of a little too cocky, sure, but I get it. He's dumb for siding with management, however, and basically snitching on Woodley. Because remember, he basically said, hey Dana, I have to know Willie too.
My favorite part about that is the tweets Tim Sylvia, the ex-heavyweight champ. If you don't remember Tim Sylvia, go Google his 300 or his 400 pound
wasn't he the guy who
nowadays.
Dismantled Rico Rodriguez?
Yep. Yeah. Also, I believe he either beat or lost to or both Randy Couture back in the day.
He beat him. I think it's
split.
Both. I think they split. I think they fought twice.
I think he won one and Randy won one. Also, he had his arm broken to shit by Frank Mir before. Yeah. That was the one that Herb Dean had to stop because he saw it break in front of his face.
I saw that. His arm was
Yeah, but Tim Sylvia was tweeting Colby Covington to keep his fucking mouth shut because no one likes snitches and shit like that. It was great.
And then lastly, he did an analogy. Odell Beckham Jr. would never side with the NFL against Josh Norman. For those who know, Odell Beckham Jr. is a wide receiver for the Giants. Josh Norman is a cornerback for the Redskins. They fucking hate each other. That is very true. Roger Goodell is evil as fuck in the NFL. And yeah, there's no way Odell would ever snitch on a fellow NFL player because they're like a union. They're tight. What what the MMA needs. They need a player association.
And that's what Mike Swick has been tweeting out. Yeah. Or no, Nate Quarry has been tweeting out all week to talking shit to somebody, I forget who.
Yeah. And then I know I've been rambling. He said that he closed out saying his dream matchups, Cruisers, Rivera would be tight, Lawler, Wonderboy. He said Wonderboy, but I think we really want Masvidal. Lawler Masvidal. And then he said he has lots of respects for Brian T.C. Ortega. Shouts out to him. And then lastly, he thinks someone asked who is the current welterweight, who is the best shot at beating Tyron Woodley. He said Jorge Gamebred Masvidal right now.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I agree. He's the best suited right now.
Yeah, I think it'd be the most fun. Cool, man. Well, I will go ahead and jump into my must listen, which you also heard some of this week, which was The Bone Zone. Bone Zone. Episode 285. Very weird show. If you guys aren't aware of The Bone Zone, you're probably real weirded out by it if this is your first time listening to it.
If it wasn't the name already.
Yeah, the name already. It's a weird show run by two comedians in LA who are buddies with like Rogan and Red Band and all the Duncan Trussell, Archfair, all those guys. The two comedians are Brendan Walsh and Randy Lidke. They also used to have a guy named Davey Johnson on there who's also very, very funny. But it's just Brendan and Randy nowadays. So Brendan and Randy had Angie Hill in studio along with her husband, the Scottish dude Adam. Because they've had him on before and it's always fucking hilarious. It's a very weird episode. So Randy Lidke knows a shit ton about the sport, follows it really in detail. Brendan Walsh kind of follows the sport mostly from a betting standpoint and super fairly casual. So it becomes this weird in between thing where Randy is making really deep inside jokes and Brendan is just trying to make his whatever weird baby jokes where they're talking about how he thinks him and his girlfriend have been making fun of ugly babies lately.
Jesus.
Well, they just had a baby, so they feel like they're free to make fun of ugly babies now. They're like, well, hey, now that I've had a baby, it's free game.
Sounds like a fucking Louis C.K.
I'm not gonna get. Yeah, exactly. It's a lot like that. Let's see. They do talk about. They recap briefly the UFC Glasgow card, and they talk about how they bet on fights, literally name dropping betting services and shit like that. And then they play Gianna Gee. Have you ever heard Gianna Gee?
No.
Oh shit. Alright, we are back. Sorry about that. I had to make Chris listen to G in a Gee. So they played that song on the podcast, which is a classic that I did not know you weren't aware of before this, but oh boy, that's a thing, right?
I gotta send that to my cousin Jordan.
You should.
Out in New York.
It's real good, right?
Well, by the way, again, I think it started 4 months ago.
He's a Marcelo guy, right?
Yeah, he just got purple belt 3 or 4 months ago.
Hey, is he friends with Dylan yet?
No, I remember I made a joke on a Suizo Coast or something like that.
He hates Dylan, right?
Probably. He just liked my comment, which I assume that means he hates Dylan.
Yeah. I mean, everyone should hate Dylan. I keep making fun of Dylan on the underground, to be fair.
Isn't he looking like some Slim Shady or bullshit or bleached hair?
He's always looked like that. I mean, I don't know if he's ever not had that hair. But yeah, he's...
Just remember, the Knicks players know him, bro.
Yeah, he's the worst. He keeps... Yeah. He's already gotten tapped out once by Gary Tonin.
What's sad is he's only 24, which means he's going to get even more worse.
Oh, well, the good news is he's about to get tapped out by Gary Tonin again in about 2 weeks, and then that hype train is fucking officially derailed. Let's see. What other... right, they were making ugly jokes about ugly babies on the Bone Zone podcast. Oh, and then they included Connor's baby in the ugly baby jokes because they think it's unattractive. Which is pretty funny. Then they try to call the Heart Attack Gorilla in Vegas because they do prank calls on that show. Especially in character. It was real weird. And then Brendan at one point jokes that Angie Hill can't choke him out.
Yep.
Which leads to the chokeout challenge.
Talk shit, get hit.
Yep. Here's some quotes. Don't be mad if you can't choke me out. And then cut to our next clip, which is the clip of Angie Hill choking Brendan the fuck unconscious in 4 seconds. And then he is real confused and upset afterwards. Which is she chokes him the fuck out to the point where Randy goes a couple times is he gonna be okay? She's like, yeah, and then you can hear Angie Hill's boyfriend in the background going lift his knees. Literally he's out cold in his chair, which is fucking hilarious. So it was just funny hearing Angie Hill completely choke that dude straight unconscious on the podcast. Weird. It's a weird podcast to begin with, and then afterwards, after he came back, he kept being like, "Oh yeah, but we should do a rematch." Well, in his whole defense plan, he was like, "No, I'm just gonna flex real hard, and I'm just gonna flex my neck real hard."
You know what that sounds like? That fucking sounds like when Chiesa was like, "Yeah, Lee had my back, bro." Or I was flexing out of position. He said something. She's like, "It was going Incredible Hulk."
It sounded way more like some bully beatdown shit, where it's like, "Bro, you can't choke me out. I'll just flex my neck so hard your arms aren't big enough. It sounded more like that, which is pretty great. Angie Hill talks about some songs she's tried to walk out to in the past, but hasn't been able to, which are all fucking killer walkout songs.
I forgot, what did she mention?
Misfits, Die, My Darling,
Jesus,
which is the best walkout sign for especially for a 115er. It was Stitches, Fuck Molly Cyrus.
Molly Cyrus.
No, it's like Molly Cyrus, like fuck Molly Cyrus. There was a couple others too, and then they called the Denny's near the Heart Attack Grill to ask them whether the Heart Attack Grill gives discounts to buy twins that weigh over 600 pounds, since they heard people over 300 pounds eat free. So then
at that Heart Attack place?
Yeah, at the Heart Attack Grill in Vegas. They're like the place that notoriously, like, if you're over a certain weight, you eat free. Plus, they make everybody
to eat free, so and lose their additional money over them getting a heart attack.
Well, that, and they're the kind of place that makes you wear like a fucking hospital gown bib when you go in, and like it's a whole gimmicky Vegas kind of thing, right? But
I'm assuming it's kind of like the Fat Sal's burgers.
It's like that, but way over the top. But so they try calling into it, but they can't get through. So they call the Denny's around the corner and they ask about that Heart Attack Grill that's down the street, which does not go well. The Denny's lady gets real confused.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, shouts out to Denny's if you ever wanted to wait a full hour for your order with one waiter or waitress in the entire building.
They actually joke about that on the show, and then they get into really weird bits where they go into the creepy voice modulator thing they have, where like they can pitch people's voices up really high or low, which used to lead to Brendan's creep. I don't know if it was Brendan or Randy, but they would do this really creepy underage girlfriend character.
Jesus.
That was like the most uncomfortable of all time. Luckily they did not go into that. However, they did do their classic giant woman tiny man calls, where they had Angie Hill play a tiny man with her voice pitched down, and they had Randy Lidke play a giant woman with his voice pitched up barely. Or I guess it was actually down also.
Clearly not Gabby Garcia.
Yeah, it was real. No, it sounded kind of like that. And they tried calling Segway places and finding out what the heaviest and lowest weights were. So that was a lot of fun. They also started trying to call places where you can rent bunk beds and sing what the highest and lowest weights were. And then eventually it got weird and they tapped out. But fucking the weirdest show. You listen to a bit of it. It's a really weird show, right?
Like 30 minutes. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, I always describe that show as feeling like a weird fever dream. Like, it starts out like a regular podcast, and then, like,
I feel like Angie Hill and her husband was like, what the fuck? He's like, what the fuck is going on?
Well, so that's their second time there, so they kind of knew what was happening, but, like, that show always, like, especially with no guests or with weird comedian guests, like, it just turns into a crazy fever dream where, like, they're doing such obscure bits of, like, calling people with voice modulators and crazy shit where you're like, what the fuck is even happening anymore?
Out of that you'd see on Adult Swim.
It's like if Adult Swim was doing Stern content well.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
Is that a description? Because that's kind of what sometimes that show feels
to this
like.
day, the weirdest shit I ever saw, and I know you saw because you told me about it on Adult Swim, was Too Many Cooks. That was the weirdest goddamn thing I have ever seen.
Too Many Cooks is really good.
It's pretty great though.
But we should keep going. What's your new podcast? Which is the one I cut you off on earlier that you said we should. Oh no, it was the Joel podcast, right?
Yeah, I will tell you what I actually wrote down, which is not much, unfortunately.
Why don't you run through what you were thinking, and I'll tag on to it, because I had a lot of notes, and most of them are just being confused and upset.
First note: Joel is really loud.
Oh, I would describe this as Joel sounds like he's speaking. The audio sounds like he's speaking to an audience at a stadium, but the audience is empty.
Yeah.
Like, that's what
Because, dude, when I was listening to this...
Or he's in a concrete bunker.
I was like this guy's never fucking this loud on Chael's
Never.
No.
He doesn't even project that hard.
He's, like, submissive. He's like, yeah, Chael.
Yeah.
Well, this time he's like, you know what? It's my show. I'm talking about how my son Christopher or Ladd, whatever his name is, Christopher Ladd. I don't know what the fuck his
It's Ladd, Christopher.
Yeah. Granted, his son...
Actually, that kid was pretty good.
Yeah, no, like, granted, his son's battling autism. I wouldn't use the term battling autism. I would just say my son has autism.
Also, he doesn't seem like he's battling.
Honestly, it sounds like fucked up to say he's battling autism.
Also,
it's a natural condition that happens to people. Who cares?
Dude wasn't that bad on the show, except for Joel awkwardly interrupting him.
The main problem with the show was just Joel. Like, let your family talk.
Right.
So that was my big issue with the show. Positivity, Chris, is key. Okay? Without positivity, you can't put your mind to something and do it. And believe in yourself, brother.
Yep. That's right, Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, no, how many times did he say brother sin?
He always does.
Oh,
and brother sin. Yeah.
Shouts out to the movie Legend of Bagger Vance. If you're a golfer, I golfed in high school. I grew up golfing. I love this. I'm gonna say I love this movie.
I've never seen that movie.
I like this movie.
Reference.
It's a solid movie. I'm real fucking honest.
Yeah.
Will Smith, Matt Damon. It's a solid movie. Charlize Theron, but it's a good movie.
That's not good when you describe it like that.
Yeah.
There's a list of people who sound like they'd be bad in a golf movie.
The way Joel described it was a sci-fi movie meets sports. No, it's just fiction. Okay. The golf parts are fine.
I don't think he understands what sci-fi means.
Yeah, I know. If you appreciate golf, it's fine. The twist, I'll just tell you right now, Bagger Vance is like a hallucination. Sorry, major spoiler. That's just the sci-fi part. Like, Will Smith doesn't exist. He's like a spirit. Sorry, goddamn. Now
Is that sci-fi?
No, it's like fantasy.
It's like
or horror.
At best, psychological thriller.
Yeah. Anyways, I just ruined the whole movie. I've ever seen it. It's still a pretty good movie. He described it in the worst way possible. He's like the worst pitchman for it.
Yeah, no, I got none of that from that description. Yeah. I've never seen the movie, so.
I just said to myself, how many times can they say brother in an episode? And then that was it. I got to like some point about them jumping off Sears Tower, and I was like, dude, I'm done.
Perfect. So that segues me in nicely. I actually listened to the whole episode. I have way briefer notes.
Please tell me you smoke a bunch of bowls after you listen to that so you erase your memory.
So unfortunately, well, I have since then. I listened to this at work because I was, that's how work has been going this week. Let's see. I wrote down Joel is back, brother. Also, it is cool that Joel has Ladd, his kid, intro the show with like a big old goofy intro.
No,
and
I like that a lot.
Ladd is clearly nerdy as all get out and fucking super autsy. That's what I call autistic people. Is autsy.
I would never use that term because it rhymes with another bad term, but...
Oh, you're right. That sounds terrible. That's me being autsy about it. That was the thing. No, as someone who's pretty autsy, I will go ahead and call him kind of autsy. But also, I should think of a better term for that phrase.
Or like people on Reddit say, "What are you, an autist?"
Yeah, there you go.
Like it's an insult.
Yeah, dog. I stay autist. Let's see. Brian Sin is the co-host. Brother Sin. Jesus Christ.
Brian.
Right.
Because Brian said he would have knocked Joel the fuck out.
Oh my god, he would have given up so quickly. Let's see. Yeah, Brother Sin is the co-host, which I'll get into in a minute. They talk about, like we mentioned, Ladd jumped off the Sears Tower, which is, by the way, the worst audio. There's almost no audio of him jumping off that tower. It's like, that was like the whole audio of it.
It's like him jumping and they cut it.
Yeah, and they cut it halfway off, and then but Joel introed it for like 20 minutes. It was the weirdest thing ever. I wrote down that Joel sounds like he's recording either in a concrete bunker or in front of a giant crowd that's empty.
Or in his room with all the doors and windows shut.
Yeah.
It's extra loud.
But it would have to be like a giant square room with a high ceiling or something. Also,
probably the wooden cabin.
Yeah, also I wrote down that he's clearly shouting instead of talking, which does not help the sound problems.
He had to make sure Chael heard him.
Yep. Joel sounds like a Southwestern preacher with a speech impediment. It sounds like he sounds like he's doing a live show with no crowd noise. He talks about his weight loss, which Joel keeps saying how he only had $11 93 days ago. Joel then also says he bought cue cards that cost more than $11.
Oh yeah, I did.
Those are related problems. There's no cue cards that cost more than $11. So if you're buying cue cards that cost more than $11. Part of your financial issues. I'm gonna go ahead and throw that out there. Here's a quote. put your phone down, put their phone down, pick your kid up. What the fuck, Joe? That was a real quote. I hate the terrible preachy style of repeating phrases that Joel keeps using. He's doing like that fucking old school like preacher style where he's like, and I am telling you that the devil...
I implore you to accept the gospel of this week so that this guy, his demons cannot crawl on your conscience. You know, the
thing he keeps doing, which I keep saying it sounds like a 12-step meeting, because the whole entire time it's like, you do not have to surrender to the alcohol. The alcohol does not have to surrender you. Like, those kind of things. You're like, that's a weird way to repeat that. That doesn't quite make sense.
You said you do not have to syringe the alcohol. Yeah. Like, damn, how hardcore are we getting?
Dog. Joel goes real hard. Also, speaking of which, Brother Sin sounds like Mike Dolce crossed with an AA counselor crossed with Hulk Hogan. Just throw that out there. And also, I realized I only like Joel when he's really confused and screaming. Like, I realized that, like, the only part I liked about Joel on Chael's podcast was when he was so confused and mad at Chael, he was just fucking screaming the entire time about shit where he was real confused and angry.
And then Chael's like, you know what, Joel? I don't like you cursing on my podcast.
Right. Where so really what I need back is I need Chael to allow Joel to scream. I just need Chael to aggravate Joel more is my problem.
This isn't a fucking game, Chael.
Yeah.
Brother.
So, but it was just, it sounded like the worst, 12-step meeting, that entire fucking podcast. That and literally that dude he's working with is the biggest con man I've maybe ever heard. That fucking Sin, whatever the fuck his name
Brother
is.
Sin.
Brother Sin is the goddamn biggest con man I've heard since Mike Dolce. And he literally sounds like Mike Dolce if he was doing like a weird religious bit the entire time. It's upsetting. Anyway, that's the that's what I have to say about that podcast. It could get great. I don't want to immediately damn that podcast and not ever being good. But holy fuck, I don't know what he's doing with that first episode, but I don't want more. Whatever
wasn't
that
a good
was.
start.
No,
not for me.
I want no part of whatever that podcast was.
All I'll say is, do you want me to just ring off a couple things I've listened to? I'm not going to go into detail.
Absolutely, I do, because I was going to do the same thing.
I will just say real quick, Submission Radio, they had a 214 post-fight show at the Mahogany Lounge, which they mentioned multiple times was a famous strip club. So that's kind of funny that they were at a strip club. And the background was in front of two ferns. Shout out to Zach Galifianakis.
Really? I didn't catch the video of that.
The MMA journalist mentioned. He's like, it's like Zach Galifianakis setup. And the two Australian guys, who's Casper and Matt from Submission. I think that's their
They're
names.
hilarious, yeah. Casper and...
I think it's Matt.
It might be Matt. It might be something else.
Matt or Mike.
Something like that. I know it's Casper.
Something fucking common, mate.
Yeah, right.
But, anyway,
hey, I'm some fucking Yankee, so what do I know?
Yeah. They had the guy. What's the guy? John. He was the first guest. The guy I showed you with who was behind the scenes in 214. Remember sitting behind the fat guy, MMA journalist John something. Morgan.
MMA junkie.
He was the first guy. Great, of course.
Yeah, he's amazing. Yeah.
I'll just say
that dude does so much homework. Which, by the way, I should mention, you guys. Chris is going to do John Morgan's podcast next week for his new podcast he's listening to. Which right. John Morgan's podcast is... we'll look it up while he continues.
But Casper and Matt, I'll just call him Matt. I know that's probably his name. They were talking about Cyborg.
I think you might be right.
Cyborg doesn't want the responsibility of being the face of women's MMA, and that's totally fine because she's been largely considered by a lot of MMA purists to be the best overall women's fighter in MMA for the past later decade.
Yeah.
It's the next fight for her. What makes the most sense? The most consistent answer, I guess, right, is Holly Holm. I like that fight. Counterpuncher versus kind of cyborg pressure fighter, right? I can dig that fight.
You would think, yeah.
Holly's tough too. She's got a pretty good chin. They say either that or I guess Megan Anderson wait till she's healthy because the division ain't going nowhere.
Which, by the way, she released actually on...
or no, she is healthy. She just had family issues.
No, she released on Twitter recently. She's about to get cleared to fight again. which means she
That'll
was
probably be the fight next.
not cleared previously.
Okay.
Which means a lot of people think she was probably preggers. Which
yeah.
explains why she didn't
somebody
say what it was.
Someone did ask her that, and she just said it's a family issue.
Well, she just kept saying it's a personal thing.
Which is still right.
Well, and on the with the thing with Joe Warren and all those guys who she's buddies with, she came on that one podcast. I forget what's the fucking name. Ben Funky Baddest. She went on that one.
Sean Funky the Baddest.
Sean Funky, thank you. Fucking every time. Sean Funky Baddest, she went on that podcast and she was talking about it's because of some personal stuff. I don't feel the need to disclose it. Like the more, and then she figured out I'm about to get off suspense. Like I'm about to get clear.
Let her take her time.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we do want to see her fight. So.
Also, don't rush that one, probably.
Don't rush. Whatever the case is, I'm sure she knows what she's doing. We'll leave it at that. They're talking about the setup is just like Two Ferns with Zach Galifianakis. He's a comedian. People know him, actor. He has like this talk
MMA
show.
Roadshow is the show that Chris is going to cover next week. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Which is John Morgan's show. John Morgan or Morrigan? Morgan, M-O-R-G-A-N. You guys would know him if you look in the background of any MMA show. You will see
any media conference. He's there asking questions before Ariel.
Yeah, you'll see a large.
Usually.
Yeah, you see a large dude in a bright blue polo. He wears that bright blue polo so his daughter can recognize him on the on the streams during the MMA fights.
That's cool. I like.
So he's just a good guy, and he works his ass off. He's also the guy who you might recognize as Vitor asking if anyone wants to beat him up in a press conference since he's fat. So you can look forward to those kinds of exchanges.
Dude, I have to look that up.
Yeah. No, Vitor was like, he basically was like, why doesn't somebody assault this guy? He's fat. It was fucked up. Because John Morgan asked him some uncomfortable question about TRT.
About TRT,
yeah. And
then Vitor was just steroids. I'll make fun of you for being
Vitor's like, oh, you fucking somebody fight the fat guy. Vitor's a dick, if you guys didn't know. Or have never listened to a press conference. Also, Vitor, don't kill me, please. Or Vitor's wife, since she's really the one I should be worried about. All right, now that I've buried myself significantly, any other podcasts you
I listened to Co-Main Event.
Good episode, nothing's...
Yeah, I like how they said Volkan Oezdemir sounds like a Bond villain. Why not give him to Jones now? I don't agree with that, because I think he would get ruined right now, at least.
Yep. I agree with both those statements.
Yeah, sure, makes sense, but Gus makes sense too. But I want Gus to fight Jones, only because Gus is ready right now, man. He's ready to fight Jones.
Yeah, I want that fight. I don't think that... I think that's the fight that should happen. I just don't know. I don't... There's too many variables that I don't trust in that equation. Yeah. Which is why I don't have John Jones or Gus in my fantasy league. Unlike some people in this room.
Yeah, right.
To be fair, Gus is a good pick in that fantasy league if you can't get John Jones. So.
Yeah, I have him and Oezdemir just in case.
Dude, and one of those is a good trade at least, if nothing else, yeah.
I'll probably be trading Oezdemir.
You might be trading Gus.
Yeah.
Depends on who fights John first.
Anyways, the last thing I'll mention is Jack Slack's fight's gone by. It was pretty solid. He talked about Cowboy Cerrone being a great tactician, technical, but he has too many weaknesses, unfortunately, and that's going to be his downfall in the division. But he realizes Cowboy is just content with fighting. He's an adrenaline junkie.
Absolutely.
That's why he's so popular. He's fun to watch. That Lawler fight was great. One thing I didn't know is Robbie Lawler was the first ever fighter to win a championship belt with double-digit losses. That is nuts. I think Robbie Lawler had 11 losses on the record when he beat Johnny Hendricks. That is fucking chaos.
I'm surprised he's the only one. I thought like a Dave Monet type
the next
or
one
somebody.
Is like 9. You know what I mean? Like close to it. You know what I mean? They're like 9 losses.
Yeah, but I figure like a Dave Monet or like Shogun or somebody like back in the day, like who had a crazy record.
I think Shogun had like 8 or 9 losses.
Yeah, one of those guys who was in Pride or like fucking Alistair almost would have taken
it must
that
have been,
record.
It's probably Shogun. Probably 9 losses. You know, almost there.
One of those old Pride guys, I would imagine, would be one of them. Yeah.
Jack thinks Woodley is inaccurate with his strikes, but it doesn't matter because he closes the distance and he has that KO power, and his wrestling is his fallback.
Yeah, I could see that argument.
He said Woodley's not sending if any takedowns against Meyer. Yes, he was. He says Cyborg He says Cyborg doesn't have good head movement.
She doesn't have good head movement when she's not pressing forward.
Yeah.
She has the same issue that a couple people have, where, like, Thomas Almeida is a great example of this, where if they're not pressing forward, their head movement isn't that good. But when they start pressing forward and they're throwing, then their head movement gets a lot better because they're taking their head off center line a lot more.
Jack said, Tanya Evinger looked great in the clinch. She just had the wrong execution and the skill gap between her and Cyborg.
The size gap more than anything.
Yeah, he says he thinks Evinger would fuck up a lot of women in 135 and has a good shot at a title.
I've been saying that.
I think so too.
Dude, her and Rocky Pennington is the real fucking underdog fucking champ fight. You want to see the greatest fight, like Randy Couture fucking style, like great fucking fight, it would be Rocky Pennington, Tanya Evinger. That shit will be a scrappy, ugly grappling war that will be the coolest, but they'll never put that fight on because no fan is gonna like that but me. And maybe you.
Yeah.
And even then, I feel like you'll be pretty indifferent about it.
A little bit.
Yeah, I love those super Randy Couture scrappy grappling performances.
Lastly, he said 145 in women's is a mess. Of course it is, because there's not that many fighters.
Yep.
He loved DC's performance going forward, answering kicks, which is Jones had too much with him with the strikes and that high leg kick. He said Jones fanboys, the ones attacking DC like I mentioned earlier, are all atheist edgelords in his opinion.
Whose opinion?
Jack.
Wow. Yeah, but he's so fucking British.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, that checks out.
He's probably Anglican, too. Still believes in Henry VIII.
He's one of those guys who I just can't get a read on.
Though? It's kind of like half Catholic, half Protestant.
Yeah,
weird.
he's one of those weird guys who I can't get a read on because he'll always throw me for a loop with, like, one guy. He'll have
to be fair, John Jones fanboys are edgelords. I wouldn't necessarily say atheists because it doesn't matter.
But, like, yeah.
That's like saying you could be a Jewish edgelord, you can be a Muslim edgelord. No one gives a fuck.
Also, it's more age than fucking religion with edgelords.
Yeah.
Almost 99%.
Just turned 18.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty goofy. Anything else you had on that, or is that about it? Me. Let's see.
Which, by the way, what scares me is people turning 18 this year. Do you know what year they were born?
I don't like hearing these kinds of facts.
Yeah, 1999.
Oh.
Yeah,
are you kidding me?
I swear to God, they barely knew what the internet was. Like the actual,
No wonder.
No. Sorry to blow everyone's minds.
Oh my God, that's upsetting.
It's very upsetting.
I never felt so old. Oh my God.
For all you know, they couldn't have survived Y2K, bro.
Bro, that's adorable. You think they know what Y2K is?
Yeah, they don't. They don't even know what 9/11 is.
They know it's an inside job.
Too soon.
Oh, no.
Too late.
To be fair, they're too busy talking about how flat the earth is to know about 9/11. All right. Real quickly.
And what they think good hip-hop is.
Yeah, shouts out to Pharrell. All right.
Your boy Little Uzi Vert.
Yeah. Hey, don't fuck with Lil Uzi,
no,
bro.
I don't like him or Lil Yachty. And you know who's the... By the way, shouts out to the worst rapper I have ever heard this year in the past 5 years.
If you say Lil B, we're going to fight now.
Nope. Triple X Temptation. That guy is trash.
Sure.
He has 4.4 million listeners on Spotify, and I don't want to know why.
Well, super glad we plugged him on the show. All right, where are we? MMA Evolution, real quick. TJ and Caleb talk about going down to Tijuana. Talk about how much fun they had.
Wait, going where?
TJ Sandus and Caleb talk about going down to Tijuana for that brave...
Wait, Tijuana or Tijuana?
Tijuana.
I mean, you said it extra white. Tijuana.
To be fair, my fucking white ass boss was talking
Come on,
about
bro. We're San Diego natives.
The problem is
TJ. Fuck it.
I know, but the problem
there
is
is too many TJs.
I didn't want to say
TJ Sanders, TJ Dillashaw, too many TJ. Yeah.
I didn't want to say TJ went to TJ because that sounds fucking.
It's what you said. I'm saying Tijuana. I'm just fucking with you because a lot of people go Tijuana.
You're right.
Where's the T, motherfucker?
You're right.
Like, come on.
Tijuana. Fucking Alexa Grasso would have so much shame.
Oh, shouts out to Brandon Moreno, by the way, Tijuana native.
Oh, you don't have to tell me, bro, who's got him in both my motherfucking fantasy leagues that we'll talk about in a minute.
I should have picked him up, goddammit.
Well, it would have been difficult since I've been stealing him in leagues.
Well, you were 3 picks ahead of me, you motherfucker.
Hey, what you gonna do? Let's see. Why am I looking at that? Right. They talked about the Brave FC card they commentated down in Tijuana. Now I'm gonna fucking overpronounce this so bad. Also, they talk about EBI 12 that happened on Sunday. TJ said he got around 8 hours of sleep in about 5 days.
Wow.
Between all those cards. Which is fucking insane.
Like 1.5 hours a day?
We did 2 broadcasts in 3 days, essentially.
Yeah.
And that includes traveling to another country.
Oh, God.
So it was pretty wild of him. They also talk a bit about how much they loved going down to TJ and how cheap and awesome everything was.
Yes, and I need to go back there because I've been there like 3 or 4
I've been hearing
years.
it's amazingly.
No. People were telling me it's getting better.
My boss is literally.
Hey, speaking for all white people, it's safer, or as David Croft say, it's wider.
Well, we'll put it this way.
I'm kidding, by the way, guys.
No, you're not kidding, because the last time I was down there, literally the club I was at, the last time I was down there, the next day got held up. They locked the door and held everybody up at gunpoint.
Oh my. Was it Hong Kong?
It was literally on Revolution, yeah. But
Shouts out to Hong Kong.
Also, Revolution nowadays is just all a bunch of fucking craft beer bars, is what my boss told me.
Damn.
And it's like fucking kind of awesome now. So actually, my boss told me I need to get a passport again, just so I can go down there for a work shit. So
that is, by the way, shouts out to anyone who's in San Diego or Southern California. If you want to go to Tijuana or any part of Mexico, you need your passport now. They don't fuck with driver's license. They will turn you the fuck around and tell you to go back.
They will and they won't. Like, they'll just be salty as fuck. Like, because they don't check it on the way in. They just get real mad on the way out.
Yeah. Like,
so,
you think you're white?
Yeah. Like, you get to have a 25-minute conversation about how white you are on the way out. And I look real white, so that's how I get to have that conversation.
I'm just like, que un problema, perché I'm Italian.
Yeah.
Not white.
But anyway, the only other things they talked about on that MMA Evolution show with TJ and Caleb, they talked about the combat jiu-jitsu and the EBI tourney, and they talked about their love of Barnana. Which, if you watch any of EBI this weekend, they had a big old Barnana sponsor, and they say that shit is amazing.
Wait, Barnana, is this like alcohol with bananas?
No, it's like a snack that is... It's like a banana fruit snack, but it tastes like actual bananas.
So like a Cliff Bar if bananas tasted good?
Kind of. It's like a Cliff Bar if it tastes like just bananas.
Fuck, that sounds good though.
Yeah.
Because have you ever had those banana snacks?
You can get it on Amazon.
Fucking expensive as fuck. Can't remember what they're called. They're these little snacks that are like covered in chocolate and it's real actual bananas.
It's probably that.
God damn it, dude. I see them at school and it's like fucking $7 for a pack of like 20. It's like, fuck you, you know what I mean? Like,
it's probably like that.
Don't get me wrong, if I was loaded, I'd get them all the time because I've had them before. They have peanut butter, they have chocolate. It's like, fuck, dude. Like, it's so goddamn good. Yeah, it's so goddamn good. Like, what the fuck?
Pretty sure
that's
like
a Trader Joe's and shit, man. Like,
pretty sure that's Barnana.
God damn it.
So they do have them at Sprouts, so we will get them for a future podcast.
Yeah, God damn.
I'm gonna. Worst case, if I can't find them at Sprouts, I'll order them on Amazon because they are there. So,
to be fair, fellow listeners, we probably will have a podcast where it's like an all natural podcast where even our beer is organic and still tastes good as fuck. We should just do that. Yeah, why not? Fuck it.
Yeah, we can definitely do that because. Fucking shouts out San Diego. We have 1 billion different organic beers in the city. Let's see. Knuckle Up 259 was good. Eugene tells a story about pissing in the glass at a bar during UFC 214, not so he didn't have to lose his seat. And then he pretends like he didn't actually do that because, come on, I wouldn't do that in a way that was like so obviously sarcastic. It was amazing. He also talks about his experience watching John vs. DC and how it saves the division. Your favorite fight? They had a really good episode with Chris Sunshine Williams, who's a super funny dude and a crazy character. He picked the fight James Gallagher versus Anthony Taylor at Bellator 169. He said it was the worst fucking fight he's ever seen. And he kept calling out both the guys, saying they're garbage, and he'd fuck them both up.
Cool.
It was kind of fun. It was just like a regional dude who was just like literally picked that fight. He's been on before, but he came on again. He's like, I found a new favorite fight.
Like, you can't even really talk to original fighters because if you watch that much tape on just someone, you kind of feel that confident abilities. Fuck it, why not to go after someone, man?
Well, and it was just funny. Like, he came on and he was just talking so much shit and just being real goofy and having hella jokes the whole time. Like, just super personable. The guy was funny as hell. I can't wait to hear from him again. Heavy Hands Patreon had a great episode this week, talking specifically about Weidman's future in the division, and they also broke down briefly Gastelum at 185 versus 170, as well as Amanda's future at 135, and they talked about the difference in or Almeida's future at 135. I'm sorry, and they talked about the difference between Almeida's defense when he is attacking versus when he's defending. Which I feel like he's like the best example of that, where they mentioned a couple times, like he has amazing head movement when he's moving forward throwing strikes, but when he's taking strikes, he has zero head movement.
Yeah, it just kind of keeps on the center of the line and just kind of covers
yeah,
up.
That high fucking Muay Thai guard with the elbows up.
He just goes like this and occasionally just like...
Puts the leg up and then throws a hook or two, yep.
Yeah.
Other things quickly to mention, Phonebooth Fighting had a pretty goofy episode. Their sponsor now is one of their sponsors now that Frank is no longer with the UFC is surprisingly enough Low T Nation, which is a supplement. Laura Senko is in studio just before the Contender Series Week 4. They also have Cowboy Cerrone in studio, which is going to be another one of our clips this week because they're fucking hilarious together. They talk about the logistics of the crowd at the Tough Contender Series, and they talk about how they had to stop Snoop from smoking as on air because the fucking weed was so strong, which we talked about earlier in this week's episode. Just a great episode. A lot of gun talk, a lot of liberal shit, which you would and Republican shit, which you would expect from those three, you know, or four, I guess, with Frank, Donald, Richard, and Laura.
So there's a balance.
Yeah, it was just a fun, like, kind of back and forth show where there was a lot of politics talk towards the end, a lot of gun talk towards the end, but they still had a pretty cool conversation. It was worth listening to. And Cowboy also talks a lot about his RV trips that he's been having and how he's pissed his RV can only go up to 86 miles per hour when he's flooring it on the freeway.
Great.
Yep. The Outsiders had a DC Jones recap, talked about Tyron, and they did mention that Tyron's going to be recording a new podcast episode soon, which is dope.
Hell yeah.
Also, Sherwood mentioned that Muhammad Usman, Kamaru Usman's brother, who fought on the Tachi Palace card.
Shit. See, I didn't watch the whole Tachi Palace.
So that Tachi Palace card had all finishes.
The last fight I saw was Rachel Ostovich's brother get knocked the fuck out.
Yeah. So that entire card was finishes. It's fucking crazy. But what's funny is Jeff Sherwood's kid actually was driving Muhammad Usman around that week because Jeff Sherwood was busy.
What Muhammad at?
205.
Wow, so he's a big guy.
Yeah. Used to be a professional or a college.
Probably NCAA All-American as well.
Yeah, like high level
like
college football. Yeah.
Oh, football. Oh, shit.
Yeah. No, like I forget it was a cornerback
probably
or what.
Like SEC, probably, right?
You would be better to look it up because I won't know what it is if I do. Actually, you can do that while I'm talking about this, but yeah, pretty interesting. Sam Alvey briefly talked about on his podcast, Pound for Pound, that he calls them from Mexico City and talks about the card he has coming up. Talks about how he loves training with Neil Magny in the past. Now he really likes that guy. And Sam also revealed he was injured going into his last fight. He was basically on one wheel, which is why he lost that last fight, according to him. So that's pretty interesting.
Oh, he played the University of Arizona, Pac-12. That's good. That's like
that's high level.
Yeah.
Like for football.
He's a defensive fucking lineman. He's a huge guy.
He's huge, and he's 2 for 2 on Kimura from Mount.
Oh, he even played for University of Houston too.
Yeah, he's super high level.
Like an outskirt of SEC too.
Yeah. And the only other thing I had left to mention was Punch Drunk Sports, which is fucking hilarious. If you guys don't know Punch Drunk Sports, it's hosted by... Oh my god, I just realized how long we've been talking about podcasts. Although we did have a little bit of a break there. Punch Drunk Sports is hosted by Sam Tripoli, Jason Tebow, and Ari Shafir, 3 comedians out of LA. They did open the show talking about the BuzzFeed article that is the classic one of gay porn versus UFC fights.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you saw that.
I think I heard of it.
It's very simple to figure out because half of them have cages in the background.
Yeah.
But the one that does have a cage in the background that isn't a UFC fight is also just a regular MMA fight. So it's kind of fucked. And then Red Band points out that that's cheating because the big difference there is the 3 letters UFC. If you also Sports Band, if you guys don't know about Sports Band's bit, Red Band knows nothing about sports, but he's very good at the internet. So the entire time they're talking, he just sits there Googling shit and reading fucking whatever article comes up first. Like, that's the entire bit of the entire show. It's fucking hilarious. So it's just a lot of that over and over. Red Band talking about the ECHL Correspondent League. Let's see. Teeb talks about his move, which is the to armbar your boner and then to suck you to sleep.
Jesus.
That's how he finishes guys the quickest.
Cool.
That was a direct quote. They also want to set up Patreon to watch their producer fuck his wife. Red Band advises on carving up and hydrating before fucking. They talk about
lots of pizza, lots of pasta. Let's go.
Yeah, it's Matt Serra style. They talk about how Red Band dates like a lesbian and is built like one. And
cool.
A lot of basketball talk. I wrote down that I love Sports Band and how he's the fucking dumbest. Because Red Band knows nothing about sports. So the entire episode he's just Googling shit and reading it. But he does it so well where he like fake answers questions. It's really worth listening to.
I bet he kind of looks shit up and like someone asks him to coincidentally kind of has something in front of him.
No, he's really good at Googling shit. Like that's what he used to do for Joe Rogan for a living. So he's really good at like fake answering questions with facts he doesn't know. Like you're like, Red Band, what wide receiver do you think is the best in the AFC right now? And I'll just Google wide receiver AFC, and I'll just be like, well, yeah. I believe that so and so, but also I believe that it's real good. Teeb talks about Kadyrov and the Brian Gumbel episode because I should mention that this Red Band episode was from last week. Which I think Red Band's just so fucking funny on that show. It really helped it. Fight Nanny was not on, which also helped the show. And that actually leads me into one of my things I wanted to bring up. Fight Nanny, aka the person who fucked Nick Diaz recently, said to the people on the show, or the host of the show, one of the hosts, that that John Jones was, I think, like 10 days out from his fight against DC, was in a bar with his shirt off, challenging to fight people from whose team was it? He was trying to challenge Diaz's manager to a fight in one of the bars, with his shirt off a week and a half ahead of the Cormier fight. So, like, anybody who thinks Jones is sober, you're adorable. But for sure not at all accurate. But that's about all I had on this for this week. The only other news I had was Max Holloway was on Eddie Wong's World. If you ever heard of that show, he's on season 4, episode 4. Brendan Schaub was on MMA Report with John Pollock. Cindy Dandois got dropped after one fight.
I saw that. That's
fucking dumb.
That's fucking dumb as shit.
They just don't give a shit about that 145 division. TJ DeSantis commentated Tachi, which was fun, along with Leslie Smith, which I feel like I hadn't mentioned yet. California Fight League 11 streams tomorrow. When we're recording this on Saturday, it streams. Mac Danzig is fighting again, which is cool. And this brings me to my last point. Chris, Alexa Grasso blew weight by 3 pounds. You have her opponent, Random Marcos, in tomorrow's in our fantasy league for tomorrow. Here's why this is good news for you. Alexa Grasso put out an interview saying it was from a UTI because she's on her period that she blew weight. But here's why it helps you. So her team suggested she stops cutting weight and starts taking antibiotics and hydrating.
Yep.
Antibiotics will fuck your cardio.
Yeah.
At elevation,
that's
you are going to die.
Multiplier.
Yeah. So
let's go, Random Marcos. I feel bad for Alexa Grasso though, because that's just the way of life, and unfortunately, just bad time for her.
Yeah,
so.
but you lucked the fuck out, sir, because that is a great pick, and you grabbed that just in time.
Great pickup,
so.
yeah. Shouts out to you.
Yeah, well, I saw it coming, and I already have 3 people on this card, so I was like, if I drop somebody,
to be
it's
fair,
not
the ultimate goal is
anything.
probably me and you. Well, I know it's an individual matchup.
Oh, no. I'm trying to get you and me to the end of this bitch.
Well, at least as far as like
yeah.
standings, yeah.
Yeah, or we're trying to, although Law Fits is going to give us some fucking trouble, so we will wrap this segment here now that we've fucking gone through everything. Oh my god,
shit.
it's been a long goddamn episode
We're gonna
already.
hate this.
But we will be back. We will briefly talk 214. We will briefly talk the Contender Series. And then we will break down the upcoming Fight Night card. To be fair, all those are probably going to be fairly short because, for fuck's sake, if you haven't heard 18 hours on 214 by now, you're not listening to enough podcasts. If you give a fuck about this weekend's card, you're one of 40 people, including myself and maybe Chris.
Like 10.
Yeah, so exactly. So we'll be right back. Go ahead and listen to yourself some clips of oh god, what was our other clip? What was the go ahead and listen to, you know what? Go ahead and listen to Brendan Schaub getting or not Brendan Schaub, I apologize. Brendan Walsh getting choked the fuck unconscious by Angie over Kill Hill because it's fucking hilarious. And then on our next break we will we'll do a clip of the other one. So check that out. Here is Brendan Schaub pretending he can't be choked unconscious, and then in like 4 seconds being choked unconscious.
Okay, here we go.
So wait, hold on.
I'll just
Let's make a deal.
Let's go.
Make a deal that if you can't choke me out, if I last the 1 minute or whatever the time is, promise you won't be mad at me. Okay?
The deal.
That's the deal.
I'm not gonna. You're not gonna have to worry about that part.
Okay. Okay. So just promise you won't be mad. Promise you're not mad at me already.
You're gonna be mad at me in a couple seconds.
Okay. No, it's all good fun. So here we go again. Hold on.
Oh yeah, get that music playing.
Well, no, we don't need the music. We need.
Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. It's time! Ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, go for it. Here, I'll turn that mic up just a little bit. So you're. This is so weird. Okay.
Yeah, I guess you just narrated.
Okay. All right. So, all right, you're down on your knees. Yeah. And you're just gonna defend it with your neck. Okay, go for it, Angela. Go see what happens.
You flexing?
Okay.
All right. Okay.
Ready?
It's not that. You think? Okay, go for it. Oh my god. How's that feel? Yeah. Oh man, they're getting. Oh jeez. Oh my gosh. Brendan.
No, he's alright. Just put his legs up. Let the blood go back to his head.
Go. Oh shit. He's fine. No. Hello?
He said he
Nah, he's alright. You just gotta give him a little space. Put him down.
He's not. Yeah, I don't think.
He'll be alright.
All right, right, we are back. Holy fuck, it's been a long goddamn gap, despite it only being about 40 minutes since the last time we were recording. Holy shit. So mostly this is, I want to do a quick recap with Chris of the UFC 214 card, as well as the
Week 4 of Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series,
which, by the way, was better than 214. Now that you've watched it with me, it's close,
I guess
right?
a better I'd say it's definitely more exciting. The fights, just by fight basis.
Like, if you were to go finish for finish, they win.
Oh, yeah,
sure.
yeah, of course.
And even if you don't go finish for finish, like, it's 50-50 probably, right?
Yeah.
Like, overall, that goddamn card was amazing, but holy shit was some of these finishes in this Contender Series equally as amazing. Again, I am very biased just by, for no other reason, being involved in it enough to know that I knew it was happening, but holy shit, like, so I guess we should start with 214 briefly. We're gonna run through 214 very, 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 very quickly, mostly because, if you haven't heard a 214 recap by now, Chris, why don't we do a fun game? Go ahead and name a 214 recap people should listen to other than ours. I would go ahead and shout out Sherdog Radio Network or Zane Lamprey on... No, wait, not Zane Lamprey. Simon on 6th Round.
Yeah, this was good. I enjoyed Submission Radio because they had multiple guests.
Yep.
It's about 40 minutes long.
Luke Thomas did a post-fight.
Yeah, he did one. Robin Black did one. His Hostilities.
Exactly.
It's called. Let me think.
Yeah, so if there's any suggestions out there that you guys would prefer, I absolutely recommend checking those out because they're probably more educated than us, and I'm a big fan of most of them. So you'll find the majority of them in the search for our podcast as well. However, since we've gotten past that part, why don't we go ahead and mention how fucking weird some of this fight card was. I guess we start at the beginning, right?
On 214?
Yeah, just quickly on...
So you should pull it up right here, right?
I'm trying to find which one are 214. Here, I would just
type in Sherdog 214 and you probably get it.
Yeah.
The website's fucked up sometimes.
Already my plan. So we'll go through 214 quickly. Wow, that's super not Sherdog. What the fuck, MMA fighting?
You only Googled this 214.
No, I know, but why the fuck is Sherdog not the first 214 reference?
I don't know. That's kind of weird.
It's really weird.
I guess
and
just add
also,
Sherdog after it. Yeah, probably find it.
The fuck? What year are we in? It's like I'm time traveling to the shittiest of...
It's done. It's right there.
Yeah, it definitely is there. All right, so we will start off at the bottom of this card. Drew Dober took on Josh Bergensen.
Bergensen is definitely right.
I was about to say, by the way, not Josh Bergensen. Don't know where that came from. Joshua Berkman, however.
Brett Favre Berkman, meaning he unretired like twice.
Yeah.
And then got knocked the fuck out by Drew Dober.
Well, that was the problem.
And did you see what the California State Athletic Commission did to Drew Dober?
Oh, yes. I did say that. I did see that after weighing him they weighed him day of the fight, which he came in around 180-something pounds.
After rehydration, 183. So they said he was
as a 155er.
Yeah, they said he was over the stipulated weight mass percentage.
Like a crazy percentage.
Yeah, so you can't be more than 10% of your initial, like, what is it? You're walking. So you can't be over 10% of what you cut. And
right.
He was like 18%.
No, he was like 20-something percent.
Either way, he ballooned up to 183.
Exactly.
When realistically, at max, he should be like 175.
Yeah, he weighed at something. Well, no, he weighed at 155, right?
Yeah, but I'm saying like after rehydration, he'd probably be like 170.
Well, yeah, like you would. hope
at least
he
for
was
California.
that
At least
way,
for
yeah.
California, they're the most strict besides New York.
Which good for them, man. Like I don't like people dropping that kind of crazy weight.
Yeah, like
Wow.
Kevin Lee too said he says he can't wait for 165, aka super lightweight, to be a realistic thing happening, because currently he cuts from 190 pounds, which is insane. No one should cut 35 pounds.
And most of the 55ers are cutting like insane amounts of weight,
30
like
to
that.
fucking 40 pounds. It's
they all weigh minimum 170. Like so it should just exist like that.
It's too dangerous. It's just too dangerous.
But
shouts out to Kevin Lee, Jorge Masvidal, and of course Khabib Nurmagomedov. Holy shit, he needs
Tony. Yeah,
Tony too. Yeah, he can use 165.
Yeah.
Michael Chiesa.
Tony probably is the easiest cut out of everybody. RDA, holy shit.
He would love 165.
RDA would love 165. So it's interesting to see what that turns into. However, where we're at right now, we'll go ahead and continue on with
Jared Brooks. I would say impressive, but it was split. I actually didn't see this fight, unfortunately.
So Jared Brooks took the split decision over Eric Shelton. I actually agree with the decision. I feel like Eric Shelton just didn't get the best of the wrestling exchanges. It was close.
I know Reddit has a huge bummer for
way.
Eric Shelton. Like, he's unlucky.
People
again.
love Eric Shelton. Yeah. It was really close. To be fair, he did win that first round. From what I
remember I chose Eric Shelton because I knew nothing about Jared Brooks. Now
it was pretty tough. I would also argue that fairly similarly with the Alexander Albu finish, or not finish, but I mean decision.
Even if they gave her unanimous.
I think she lost that last round guaranteed. First round was kind of close. It was 50-50. Second round was, I would say, about 50-50. Third round was hands down Caitlin Curran. I could see Caitlin Curran losing both those first two rounds. However, she 100% won that third round, and that was a 5-round fight. Caitlin Curran murders fucking Albu. Also, I never root for people who have the fan base by literally bending over and shaking their ass on Instagram. So
is that what she did apparently?
Oh yeah, they call her Alexander All Booty.
Right.
On Reddit, you're home of homes. Yeah. So I'm gonna go and blame them. I actually would have taken that bet if I didn't want the phrase Alexander All Booty to be fucking spread on.
Oh wait, didn't you say you did a flare bet? How did that turn out for you?
I did do a flare bet. I currently have the flare, aka, or no, I believe it's I bet. No, I picked Tanya Evinger AMA is my current flare bet.
That's pretty amazing.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
That's fucking amazing.
It's pretty good. And also, it's even better because no one is making any flare bets on this new card, so I can't even get rid of it. Fuck. I'm just adopted to it.
Yeah, I gotta do a flare bet. I like mine. It's currently still Team Gus Davidson.
That's like such a generic one.
Yeah, that's courtesy of Josh Barnett. Fucking
really?
Well, no, because that's what he said. This was like 5 years ago when Gus fought Jones, and he's like, "Yeah, this is like MMA prospect." He's like, "Yeah, what do you think of John Jones versus Alexander Gustin?" Oh, Gus Davidson. Oh, I like him a lot.
Perfect. Yep, sounds exactly like Josh Burnett kind of sports answer. Where he's like, "Oh, you're asking me a sports question? Well, I should give a sports answer." Oh,
Calvin Kattar, the Boston guy.
Qatar.
Is it Kattar? Qatar? I don't know. They kept saying...
It's Kattar. You're right.
I actually know.
No, you're right.
Logically,
It's Kattar.
To be fair, logically...
No, you're right. It's Kattar.
Yeah, I know, but it literally looks like Qatar.
That's why I keep fucking it up.
Because there's the two T's. No, it really is Qatar.
It's Kattar.
Well, then his family is weird. Because that is phonetically spelled out like Qatar. But
well, right, but on the broadcast they keep saying Cater, which includes Anik, and whatever Anik says
I'm not going to argue
goes.
how he wants to call it, but it literally looks like Qatar. So,
well, whatever Anik says goes.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, I'm still going to call him Cater, but to me it looks like Qatar.
For sure.
But me being a stubborn asshole.
I'm losing.
Anyways, Calvin Kattar. I didn't see this fight. How did he look against Andre I Hate You motherfucker from Team Alpha Male Philly?
It was close. I had him 2-1 against Philly. Philly definitely I had winning the second round.
And I don't think I really hate Philly. I think he just seems like he could be a douche. He's probably actually a pretty nice guy.
No, and Philly didn't do terrible in that fight either. It was fairly competitive. I just didn't rounds or one of those 3 rounds rather.
Brian T. City Ortega, holy shit, versus Renato Moicano.
So you watched this with me, not that just today.
Great fucking fight.
Dude, those first 2 rounds were neck and neck, right?
I had almost 2-0 Renato, dude.
Yeah, me too.
It was fucking goddamn good fight. And
all of a sudden, Brian Ortega gets that goddamn guillotine and wraps that shit up.
Renato just kept the stand up. He was doing well on the counter. He could have got that 3rd fucking round. Even if he didn't get the 3rd round, he would have won the goddamn fight.
No, yeah. Even if he would have fought a Tyron Woodley style 3rd round, he would have won that fight.
Yeah.
He just literally needed to not die for a double leg off the
Renato Moicano's going to be a big name in that division, featherweight.
He already has been. If you look at him in Bellator, and also Moicano, I believe he has a history in Bellator. If I'm not mistaken, him with a different dude, but I believe he has a pretty solid history. And man, getting a win over, or not getting a win, but getting a couple rounds against Brian Ortega is a big fucking deal. Even if Brian Ortega does catch you in a sneaky choke. Man, that shit's happened to a lot of high-end people in that division, and I don't know if, especially in that division, I don't know if you can hold that against people at this point.
Aljamain.
Speaking of which, Aljo.
Funkmaster Sterling versus Henan Barao.
Yeah.
At a catchweight 140. I think we gave the first round. Right? I think we gave the first round to Henan. Pretty solid. I think he pretty much had control.
Hands down.
And then after that, he started kind of getting tired. Aljamain got his back for a second, and just the 3rd round just poured it on with the striking.
Yeah, it was
nasty elbows and the ground and pound.
It was a weird fight. Like I don't. Maybe it's just because I don't know how they do placement rankings in that. Whatever you want to call it, I don't know. It's not a division. Whatever you want to call whatever that is.
It's like an exhibition.
Yeah, like
an unranked fight.
Exactly. Like
that's all it is.
It felt like an unranked fight, right? Like a weird exhibition thing that like doesn't really matter for anything.
Yeah,
but
an unranked fight is entertaining to me.
Yeah, super entertaining, super scrappy, but like doesn't mean anything kind of thing.
It doesn't mean shit.
I guess I don't have a good way to explain it. I
was gonna say it's good.
All I would say
Sterling,
is super impressive performance from Aljamain, but like I feel like it moves him almost nowhere in that division, other than finally proving that he belonged exactly where everyone kept trying to say he didn't belong. Like he had that weird middle class, kind of lightweight, like lighter weight issue, where it's like
it's kind of middle of the pack. Got still climbing the ranks.
Well, and for the longest time, everybody was like, oh, yeah, he had that beef with Floyd back in the day at a pool, and like, blah, blah, blah. You're like, nowadays, you're like, yo, Aljamain Sterling would fucking murder Floyd.
Of course.
Like, in a street beef, like, just like, oh, they're talking to each other, like, Aljamain Sterling would fucking murder that dude. There's no question about it at this point. Like, he would choke him the fuck unconscious, no problem. On the feet, it'd be way more interesting.
Speaking of which, the same weight class, give me fucking Jason Knight against Floyd.
Yeah!
Goddamn dude does not go down. I mean, well, Lamas did knock him out, but it took a while.
Dude, also, if the only person putting him out is Lamas, that's a good sign for your chin.
Yeah.
Good God. Like, Lamas is not the dude who's like,
how many of those direct
fucking
bombs was he taking? Because the story
it was fucking insane. Yeah, it was absolute chaos. So,
good on Ricardo Lamas getting that finish. Jason Knight stood in there as long as he could.
Absolutely true. Volkan Ozdemir, we talked about earlier.
Yeah, Volkan Ivan Ozdemir, which I will never call him that. That's just a Jack Slack joke. So Volkan
Ozdemir. Oz.
I think is it Ooze or Ozdemir?
It's Oz.
It's Oz. Yeah, that makes more sense.
Because people keep correcting it.
Because it's not Oz. It's Oz.
It's Oz, yeah. Volkan Ozdemir,
One Punch, mate. He was right.
Brought Also, Jimmy Manoa.
Jimmy Sacktown Manoa, dude.
Yeah, Jimmy. If you want to learn how to pronounce things in your native language of California, I got you.
Bruv.
We got you covered, bruv.
What do you think's next for Jimmy Manoa?
Hey, Jimmy Manoa, no punch, all bruv.
I think they should do Manoa Teixeira.
I just want Manoa to start acting like where he's from.
Oh, by the way, hey Manoa, how's that fight with David Haye coming along? Oh wait.
That's gonna sting a little. It's coming along about as well as poor Volkan Ozdemir's fight with David Haye.
Yeah.
Which is, ironically enough, less likely to happen.
Yeah, the only person, actually mostly qualified, the only two people I feel like, or three, I say most qualified.
Tonya Evinger.
No, I'm saying watch. I'm going to say to fight a box. My opinion, the only three fighters.
Yeah,
mostly, yeah, it's like almost. The only three fighters I think most qualified to fight
Ronda
professional
Rousey.
boxer. Exactly, heart of a champ. Yeah, beautiful work.
Yeah.
In all seriousness,
Edmund.
Stipe Miocic, the Golden Gloves champion, national champion. Cody Garbrandt, Golden Gloves regional champion in boxing, and then Nate Diaz, of course, because he spars against professional boxers. Those are the only three I feel like that could legitimately actually fight professional boxers. Other than that.
Nate or Nick are probably the best.
Yeah, but I'm not saying Nick because he hasn't fought in like years. So
exactly. And
yeah.
Nick
So yeah, it's literally just Stipe, Cody, or Nate.
And Nick has been saying the same thing on Instagram for fucking hella time and hella drug tests. So, pretty
let's
funny.
see. We had Brutal Bob versus Cowboy. That was a great fight.
Yeah, absolutely incredible fight. Man. So Robbie Lawler started out that first round really strong. I feel like that's what won him that fight.
Especially the dirty boxing, yeah.
Like,
and whoa.
It ooh, that got weird. Why did every oh god.
Even like some Adobe
okay, here we go.
You're good.
Sorry, my computer is fucking spazzing out.
Yeah, Robbie started off real strong. I know people are kind of debating how did they score those first two rounds. I had it 1-1. I know Cerrone did take down Lawler in the first round and kind of had good control for the latter 1.5 minutes left remaining in that first round. But I really did enjoy Lawler's pressure and his inside strikes. And I felt like he took the first round. I gave the second to Cerrone, and then the third to Lawler because he just poured it on. I always felt like Cerrone, once he started getting tagged in the liver in those body shots, he really couldn't do anything more. And that whole octagon control was all in Lawler's favor. He was just kind of angling him down, pressuring him. I know Cerrone did have a bunch of good combos, just kind of the 1-2s and then a little bit of the hooks. But other than that, he couldn't really keep as much distance as he wanted to.
It was super close.
Lawler took it on points and control.
I agree 100%.
What do you think's next for Lawler? That 170 division's kind of wide open, really. I know Wonder Boy Stephen Thompson is now the new #1 contender. I don't think they're giving him any time soon a fight to Woodley.
Colby's somewhere in there. Jorge's somewhere in there.
It's a fucking big goddamn toss-up.
Yeah.
Who knows? I honestly see Woodley taking time off to make sure he's healthy.
Yeah, I think they're going to give Wonder Boy somebody in, like, Colby Covington range-ish. Or, like, Jorge range.
And it'll be Masvidal Lawler, probably.
It should be probably Masvidal, either Masvidal Lawler or Masvidal Thompson, yeah. And then the winner of that should probably get Tyron, which, to be fair, that dude earned that break.
And then what's next for Demian Maia?
85 again, maybe? Man, he's cutting a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Like, he's cutting a lot of weight, from what I've heard.
Or maybe wait for 175. That's a lot of waiting.
Yeah, no, that's a good point too. Though, if they start,
I think he'll take time off. He's 40 years old.
If they start doing the new weight,
he might actually retire.
He might.
I think unfortunately he will retire. Because dude, he already makes a fuckload of money.
So if he does retire, I'm Damian Maia. I hope you're listening. Please start your own fucking podcast, bro.
Yeah.
I know for a fact you're a journalist. I know for a fact you love the sport. I know you like talking about the sport. I know you do great fucking interviews.
Yeah, people calling you.
You are super smart with like interviews like with people like Steffi Haynes and man, I would just love to hear a Damian Maya podcast. Like I've heard that dude on more than one podcast, probably 3 or 4 nowadays.
Yeah.
Talk about how much he loves podcasts and how much he wants to do that. And he has a journalism degree. So it's like, for fuck's sake, Damian Maya, this is my official fucking assignment to you to please, Chris, back me up on this. Please, Damian Maya, do a goddamn podcast.
Yeah,
it takes no effort. And
yeah, it's all the skill sets.
You have a journalism degree in Brazil. You have worked your ass off. You know more
he's
about
probably qualified to write for one of the biggest newspapers in the world, El Globo in Brazil. You know, might not.
Dude knows more about this sport than anybody involved in that area. Like, it would be brilliant to hear a U.S. version of what's
Brazilian
happening in his area in Brazil.
Why
like,
not?
Dude, even if it was just like
he has time to do it. He could do it from his fucking house and play with his kids too. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing is like even if he was just doing super basic breakdowns of like, hey, here's the upcoming card. Here's what I think. Like, let me give you 20 minutes of my time on like the fucking 3 matchups I think are worth mentioning. Like, I would love to hear that from Damian Maya. I think that would be incredible. Whether it was like a fucking 3-hour full card breakdown or whether it was a 30-minute 3-fight breakdown, I think it's absolutely worth the public's time, and I think it would be a huge thing for him.
We'll say, what's next for Tyron Woodley? We said he'd take time off. We did accidentally skip Cyborg and Tanya.
That's because I feel like we've talked about it so much so far already.
All we know is that the division hopefully will develop. That's all we're going to say at the moment. Main event, John Jones and Daniel Cormier, the sequel. We both thought DC looked fucking better this time around. I think we both said he almost won those first 2 rounds. Now we watched the fight again, right?
Yeah. I had DC for one of them.
I think it's still 1-1. I don't know.
Yeah, I saw it at 1-1. I saw that first round DC just off of activity, but fuck, man, it's close. You could probably give it to John, to be fair. And I wouldn't. It's hard to argue.
Either way, what do you think happens with John Jones? Does he wait 6 months, or do they try to book Lesnar last minute in December when his suspension's up? I think they're going to strike him in December and say fuck this shit because they want to get a fight.
From what I've heard,
because they want to get that division still go. Or are they just going to do Ozdemir and like Gus and like I don't know.
From what I've heard, I don't trust any of the WWE news, which I'm not the person to listen to, obviously, after having said Conor fucking Floyd's never gonna happen. However, I don't buy any of that shit. I think probably fucking John eats a bag of dicks and fights, or emotionally, when it comes to paydays, eats a bag of dicks and fights Gustafsson next, which I feel like is his least interesting and, well, in his opinion, like is his least, the thing he'd be least excited about and the thing he is gonna make the least amount of money from.
Yeah.
However, I think in the long run, the UFC thinks it'll make them the most money, which is what they're gonna give a fuck about. Because you know how much money the UFC thinks they're gonna make off Brock Lesnar?
Like millions? I don't know.
A decent amount, but only once.
Yeah.
Because like it goes one of 2 ways. Either way, you lose money in the long run as the UFC. But if you get John Jones as the champion coming off of a strong defense against someone other than DC, it sells better. Plus, I think they're like weird about throwing Brock Lesnar in because as I feel like that company is more and more starting to not understand how the sport works, so they're trying to get more and more worried about like the actual fucking WWE version of shit, where they're like, oh well,
they just want publicity.
Possible.
They want pay-per-view buys. I feel like they kind of underperformed at 214. I know Dana was seeing somewhere around 1 million. I have no idea. I was hearing 800,000.
It's rumored close. Yeah.
Yeah. Either way, I enjoyed 214. Hell of a fucking card.
Great card, but like not a name bringer. You know, like WWE name bringer. Like it's not like UFC 200. You know.
Did you want to go over to the fights we saw in Contender, or did you want to just get going for tomorrow's fights?
We can briefly mention the Contender fights. I mostly
just our favorite ones. Like
I just mostly wanted to mention how fucking good they were, dude. Like,
I enjoyed them a lot. They were fucking sick.
Like, I don't have anybody. I guess we can pull up their card.
I just noticed that one fight in particular, the guy Arnett versus Davis was fantastic.
Arnett versus Davis was fucking incredible.
Davis is Jason
they beat
Knight's
the fuck out of each other.
Yeah, that was nuts. A real technical fight.
That was about all I really want to bring up. I mean,
the other fight only one I'd bring up is that guy Hawes versus that guy Julian Marquez. That fucking knockout, goddamn! After he stood him up and kicked him right in the fucking face.
It was just so brutal.
I felt so bad for the guy. I mean, it is what it is. It's a sport, but damn, dude, you don't want to see someone get knocked out like that.
I mean,
that's real bad.
It was rough. Like the way he leaned into, like he walked into that fucking right high kick was real ugly. But hard to have an issue with in like a 1-to-1 context kind of way. Super impressive though. So I guess we can wrap it there. I mean, what do we have coming up the next couple weeks? We got
we got the fight tomorrow night. We haven't really mentioned unless.
Oh my God! You're right.
I know we're kind of crazy on.
We do still have the fight tomorrow. You know what? We will do a quick recap. Really, we're gonna sprint through.
I think we should just. Okay, I'll be real. The fight card tomorrow, dude, there's like maybe 3 fights that interest me.
There's like fucking 4 or 5 that interest me.
Yeah, maybe there's 4. I'd have to...
There's like 4, I bet. So here's what we'll do. Me and Chris will be the most real right now. And we're going to take a very quick break where you listen to some super offensive shit from one of the podcasts I mentioned earlier.
That's right.
I want to say it's probably from the Punch Drunk podcast, because those dudes, oh boy.
There's that thing with Cowboy.
Yeah, Cowboy said, a lot of people said horrible things during MMA Podcasts this week that I feel like we've covered. But we will be right back with that, and once we are, we'll briefly talk about this upcoming card that's happening this weekend.
Phonebooth. Yeah, that's it.
Which should be interesting. So we'll be back in just a second.
Oh yeah, the last one I put.
Oh, they said that's
that
a
is
fight.
porn. No.
No, they said it's a real fight.
That's not a UFC.
Yeah, it's not UFC.
It's Ultimate Fighter,
See,
maybe.
You
It's
can't.
tough.
Oh, so it was harder than you thought.
No, because that's true. I was thinking UFC is not just MMA. They can't call it UFC. I mean, that's completely wrong. You know, as a sports guy, you know the difference between UFC and MMA.
What is the difference, sports man?
3 different letters.
That's true.
To begin with.
The letters are all different. That is true. I'll give you that.
I think you're gonna go that one, but I'll accept that.
But MMA could be just like rolling around wrestling. It could be just like anything, you know. That's definitely not UFC. Look, there's no Joe Rogan there.
All right, we are back. Holy shit. We are going to do a super ill-advised podcast on who to bet on. I have zero confidence in anything at all in this list, apart from like 3 fights. So we have Alvaro Herrera taking on Jordan Rinaldi. Any advice on this, Chris?
I mean, I wish I had some insight. Unfortunately,
here, why don't we open up some Sherdog
Jordan Rinaldi
rankings? Jordan Rinaldi.
Rinaldi.
By the way,
I don't know. Is he Brazilian? You keep saying Rinaldi.
I don't know.
He's from Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay, Jordan Rinaldi.
Lost to Abel Trujillo about a year ago. Hasn't fought in a year.
Maybe not all day. Maybe like just some days.
Alvaro Herrera, El Chango.
Yeah.
Guadalajara, Jalisco.
El Chango coming off the loss to Vincente
He
Luque.
fought a year ago too. Holy fuck! This is ring rust battle.
Yep. Man, I would call this 50-50 as fuck. Let's see. Decision to Abel Trujillo is not bad. Submission to Vincente Luque is not good. Well, I don't know. Which way are you leaning in?
Alright, this is a toss-up. I'm just going with the Jordan Ronaldo. Yeah, I have no fucking clue.
You going with
Ronaldo, the American, yeah. Fuck it, dude.
I am super going with whoever this guy
the
is.
Mexican guy, Alvaro. Or or the American.
That's Ronaldo.
Yeah, fuck it. I have no
anybody who loses via fucking Bravo, I am questioning, so yeah, sure, I'll go Ronaldo on this.
Jordan Ronaldo.
Yeah, so why don't we go ahead and take another look at the other fights on this card, which I'm sure
Joseph Morales and Roberto Sanchez.
Oh yes, these two classic fighters that everyone knows the name of.
Yeah, dude, they're my two favorite Latino fighters.
Well, Chris, that's hilarious because we all know that they aren't Latino fighters.
Team Alpha Male, Joseph Morales. Okay.
Oh wow, he is from Team Alpha Male. I was super kidding about them being the only ones we know, but actually, we both do know Joseph Morales. So, terrible example or great example?
Great transition.
That's up to you.
We got Little Fury.
Gracie, Baja, Texas, at a Sages camp. Isn't he Gracie, Baja, Texas?
Yeah, and so that means I'm going for Team Alpha Male product, Joseph Morales.
Me too, especially after coming off of a loss to Jerome Rivera.
Or a win. I think this guy's undefeated too. Battle of the Undefeateds right here.
True. Yeah. I mean, we're both going Joseph, right?
I like Alpha Male product out of Undefeated because Alpha Male's been on fire lately.
Cool. So we're both picking Joseph
Morales,
which I am pronouncing super incorrect in our pick'em page.
Just don't call him Joseph Morales.
I call him Joseph Morales.
Joseph Morales. All right.
Morales.
I know this guy, Jose Alberto Quinones, from Tough Latin America 1.
Is that what he's from?
Yeah, and he trains out of Alliance occasionally because I saw him there in person. Swear to God.
You did actually. I believe you. I remember you telling me about that.
Saw this guy, yeah, with Macio Fallen and Henry Briones was there too. Saw him there too.
Strong group he's training with if he's still there.
Yeah, Henry Briones isn't there anymore.
Taking on Diego Rivas, the Pitbull, out of Chile. I don't know, man. I am as convinced about this fight as my computer is convinced I shouldn't be doing a podcast.
Oh, fuck. I think I'm going Quinones. I don't know, dude. I know he ain't undefeated like the same
Thanks,
guy.
Fast and Furious neighbors. So you're on Quinones?
Yeah. I know he's a good boxer.
Sure. That's probably smart. He fought in the UFC before. Yeah, I'll go with that. Sure. Fuck it.
This shows you how diverse this card is. Me and Pulver have the first 3 picks agreed on.
I just don't have anything to say about these fights. Like, if I've ever heard of or worked with any of these dudes, I could not tell you.
I know this name, Hani Yaya versus Enrique Briones.
So this is actually the first card that I'm aware of both parties in, and that I actually have some kind of interest in. Hani Yaya, of course, coming off of the loss to Joe Soto, which motherfucking no shame because Joe Soto is quite possibly the worst matchup of all time for Hani Yaya. Also has the recent win over, go ahead and pronounce it, whatever,
Michinori
Tanaka. Enrique, god damn it.
Why the fuck would his nickname be Henry Bure? Are you Henry Briones? He must be related to Henry Briones.
Thank you.
100%. This guy's totally related to Henry Briones. No, he's not.
Enrique Briones.
Where is he from? Tijuana? Yeah, that's Henry Briones' brother. This is Henry Briones' brother.
Oh, really?
100%. It has to be. Or his fucking cousin, dude. They're both from TJ.
Well, he recently lost to Cody Garbrandt and Douglas.
Oh, no shame in losing to fucking Cody.
Silva
What a
de
decision
Andrade.
against Garbrandt? Wow. Oh, wait, dude. I'm dumb. This is Henry Briones. His name's Enrique. I'm fucking stupid, dude. That's his nickname. He just goes by Henry Briones. That confused the shit out of me.
I was going to let you keep spinning on that one.
Yeah, okay. I'm dumb.
Oh, yeah. Henry Briones is not having a good time as of late with the recent spinning back fist knockout. Against Hani Yahya, I kind of see the same issue happening.
Yeah, I like Hani Yahya.
I like Hani Yahya probably by decision. If not by decision, then probably by some kind of scrappy engagement where he ends up winning just enough to be able to get that exchange.
So far, we have chosen everyone on the left side of this matchup.
True. Speaking of which,
I think that's continuing right here.
We have Dustin Ortiz versus Hector Sandoval. How you feeling about that one, Chris?
I know Dustin Ortiz. I know he's scrappy as shit. He's been in some wars recently, from what I remember.
Definitely has.
I think he did fight Louis Smolka recently. And I think he fought someone else pretty big name. Who the fuck was it?
Why don't we take a look? So Dustin Ortiz, as
it was
of
Makovsky,
late,
yeah.
just lost to Brandon Moreno, has a win over Makovsky.
Yeah, look at that. He's fought some killers. Hussier de Silva.
Hussier de Silva and
Wilson Hayes. Yeah, this guy's been thrown. And just holy fuck, he's been thrown. And fucking he went over Ray Borg, dude. This guy's been literally fighting the best of the best in the
Yep, and winning over some of all the lower end side of that tier group.
Team Alpha Males, Hector Sandoval.
Wins over Matt Schnell.
The Ultimate Fighter, lost to Wilson Hayes. What is the size difference there? They're probably both the same. They're both flyweights. What is this guy? 5'2". Holy shit, 5'2"? Yeah, damn, that guy's tiny. 5'5". Well, he's tiny too.
Yeah, 5'2" to 5'5" is pretty big size difference, though.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with left side of the card again. Dustin Ortiz on this one, man. Just based on who the fuck he's fought. He's been throwing a goddamn ringer.
Understandable.
But I think he has blown weight though. Too.
You know what? I'm gonna go Sandoval just off of. Everybody may wait for this card, so Ortiz must have.
Not Grasso.
Except for Grasso, obviously, which we'll talk about. I think we already have actually. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Sandoval, not for any reason that's worth anything, other than being a contrarian motherfucker, really. So, I'll go with that. Jack Hermanson with his giant red head.
Dana's son, the Tomato Jr.
Yeah, taking on Bradley Scott, which I remember from something. Tough, maybe? Jack Hermanson looking real red, and
I remember this is kind of like a beast against Alex. I hate Asians Nicholson.
Yep, that's right. Alex Chink Nicholson is
Nickel shit.
Yeah. I got so focused on calling him a racist, I fucked up in the middle of it. Just gotta ask him. I don't know, man. Sure, I'll take Bradley Scott. Fuck it.
I'll go Hermanson.
Sure.
Swede. Tomato Jr.
Let's see. Hermans. Scott.
Scoidle.
Did I have Yaya? I did, right?
Yeah, we both did. Yeah. Here, make sure, because you have Ortiz. Oh, you forgot to put Ortiz in the one above. That's
no,
why.
I got it.
Yeah, I have Ortiz and you had Sandoval.
Yeah. I'm just fixing the list. There you go. Alright,
Alejandro Perez and Andre Sukmanta.
That's right. The fight I could not give less of a fuck about for some reason. Dude, I love a lot of these fights. I don't care about this fight at all. Like, do you know either of these dudes?
I know Sukmantal. He looks solid. He's a solid striker.
That's the only thing.
That's it. That's all I know.
Yeah.
I've seen him like fight once.
Exactly my point.
I think he's like from Nepal or Sri Lanka.
Alright, well, I will take this dude then. Fuck, I'm taking the Mexican guy.
Oh, this guy's from Top Latin America 1 too. And that sounded racist. Just kidding.
I mean, only sounds racist when I'm like, oh, I'm gonna take the guy who took Ian Entwistle because that's a great pick.
I know, I'm kidding. Let me see Sukmantal again.
Oh, the Asian sensation. I remember who this is now.
Yeah.
Lost Albert Morales. Okay. Who you got?
Fuck it, I'm gonna go Sukmantal.
I'll go Alejandro Perez. Fuck it.
I know Perez will probably win though. He's a fucking great boxer.
I think you probably have the better. Do you want to switch?
Well, Sukmantal was good Muay Thai. That's what I remember. I think like.
See, I had a feeling you liked that guy.
That's what I was talking. I saw him fight like twice. But the other Bill has really good hand speed and is a good boxer. So there's that.
I'm just gonna write SOUKH and I'm gonna put a bunch of vowels.
If you were typing.
Good point.
Oh, it caught up. It caught up. It double caught up.
That's fine.
There we go. It's fucking.
I just put a lot of Sukuman.
It's fucking like 25.
Yeah, I put a lot of vowels in that bitch. Yeah, Sukman Tot is about to fucking get real thick, solid, tight about their decision making.
And then you got Rashad Evans.
Well, so we already know who I have on this one. I'll go ahead and fucking
I got the same guy.
Do you?
Yeah, 100%. I'm going Sam motherfucking Alvey on this one.
Alright.
Unfortunately for Rashad Evans, man, it's that time off with the surgeries on his knees and his...
That in with Sam Alvey just looking real with Sam
he's
Alvey.
a good technical boxer.
Also, if you guys aren't aware, Sam Alvey recently said on his podcast that he is experienced some injury issues in his last fight, which is why he came out real slow and ugly. Not that he doesn't always come out slow and ugly, but on top of his regular pace of being slow and ugly.
Alright. Then we got Martin Bravo versus Humberto Bondone.
Sure, yeah, those guys everyone knows. I'll go ahead and open these for you so you know who the fuck they are. Since don't even try and lie like you know who Martin Bravo is.
I'll tell you, I have no idea who he is.
Couldn't tell you. He fought in the UFC once.
I am going to pick him because someone in our fantasy MMA league chose him in like the 5th fucking round for some reason.
Really?
Yeah, so they must know something I don't. So, or they're homies with him. So.
Well, good news is I'm gonna go with Bandone then, because Bandone is a good name. So I'm gonna go Bandone, if I can figure out how to spell this. Bandone. I'm just gonna put yours as other.
Other or just simply Bravo, like Johnny
Bravo. Okay,
Bravo.
That makes it way easier.
There you go.
I just didn't know his name, so I was gonna go with other. Yeah, Martin Bravo. That's probably the smart pick. He's from Mexico, but
Rosarito, fuck yeah.
I generally bet against the UFC getting hometown wins. So
yeah.
Speaking of which, Alan Joban, Nico Price. I might be fucking myself on this one, but I got Alan Joban.
Yeah, and I have Nico Price. This kid looks real fucking solid lately. At least the last fight.
A lot of people have been saying that. You have Nico Price going into this?
Yeah.
I think that's not a bad pick.
That's a safe pick, honestly. Like
it's not that safe a pick. Like Alan Joban's been looking real good, but a lot of people are real high on Nico Price.
Dude, that guy has really long arms. Holy fuck.
We got...
And I already know who I got for this co-main.
Yep, Alexa Grasso, Randa. Who you got?
Got my girl, Randa Marcos. Let's go, fantasy team.
Oh, that's right. I actually already know this.
Yep.
And I also have Randa Marcos because I actually told you to take Randa Marcos.
Thank you, yeah.
Since Alexa Grasso has a UTI and is on
Dude, isn't
motherfucking...
Alexa Grasso already tiny as shit? How the fuck does she blow weight?
So,
no, you mentioned this earlier.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's on her period, got a UTI, started, and her coaches and the doctors told her, worry about regaining weight rather than
she's not gonna.
weight.
I hope she doesn't get penalized that harshly, right?
She won't get penalized. However, fucking antibiotics kill your cardio.
Oh, that's right. Goddamn, that sucks.
So, well, not for you who has Alexa or Random Marco.
Well, no, yeah, but no, I'm saying I'm feeling for the fighters. I'm just saying.
Oh, of course.
Sucks.
It sucks for her.
Yeah, no.
100%. And speaking of sucks, the main event sucks for both these dudes having to be in Mexico City for this fucking card. Because, good God.
Let me look up real quick. The elevation of Mexico City. Actually, wait.
12,000 feet?
Dude, is that high? No way.
Look it up. It's probably less than that. I don't know how elevation works, y'all.
All I know is Denver is a mile high, which is like 5280.
It's more than that.
No, yeah, I know. I'm guessing right now it's at least 8,000. It's at least 8,000.
I think it's like double Denver.
Mexico City.
I thought it was double Denver. I might be wrong.
You're probably right. Okay, what's your guess right now? My guess is about 9,000 feet, which is insane.
Yeah, about that. Like 10, 12.
Okay, still pretty fucking high. 7,382. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's still an insane
Have
fucking...
fun with cardio.
Yeah.
So were these guys... It's 5-round fight. Are they both going to gas round 3?
Yes. Question is, who can Brandon Moreno catch a guillotine before then? Or rear naked?
I think he can. But again, I haven't watched enough Sergio Pettis. Dude, I've probably watched like one fight of Sergio Pettis. I'd never.
Well, no, so that's not true because you've seen him lose the Ryan Benoit fight that you and me both watched, where he got knocked out.
I thought you called that guy
right?
Ryan Benoit.
You're right. It is Benoit.
I kept calling him Benoit.
I'm the asshole who is now calling him Benoit, even though I know that's not right.
I just call him Benoit because I saw Chris Benoit, the piece of shit wrestler, could pronounce it that way.
Well, and Chris Benoit, number 1, kills people he loves, and number 2 is still not the right way to pronounce that word because it's not an anal bead. It's the only it's the only reason you should ever pronounce it like that. It should be Benoit. But that fucking insane maniac asshole is involved in that somehow. So yeah, my point is
I ain't French or French Canadian, whatever the fuck he is.
My point is bury everything related to Chris Benoit because he's a giant piece of shit. Apart from that, this should be a fun card.
I have in this fight Brandon Moreno, the assassin baby.
Yeah, I literally actually have the baby assassin as well in my
the assassin baby. I have no idea actually what it is. I think it's a baby assassin baby.
Yeah, it is.
It's a
it
weird
is
name.
the assassin baby. So we should mention actually, you and me started in on the Fantasy MMA League on
MagWarrior.com.
the MMA on magwar.com. The MMA Underground League is the one we're in on, which is fucking fun so far, right?
Yeah, this shit's fucking tight.
Like I think this weekend you just picked up Miranda Marcus.
She's the only fight for this weekend. Yeah,
and then I have for this weekend Alvin Joban. I got Brandon Moreno, and I have Sam Alvey, all three of which. My flex fighter, I believe, is Sam Alvey, I think, right now. I might still switch it to Brandon Moreno. I haven't decided. I think Sam Alvey is a smart pick for my flex fighter. Anyway, you guys are going to be hearing a lot more about this MAGA War League as we go forward, since me and Chris are in the same one.
Yeah.
And we are straight going to war.
Chris, his team name is Saltikawa.
That's right.
A great picture photoshopped of MMA agent Malky Kawa.
That's right. It's Malky Kawa in front of the...
we got Chris has Brandon Moreno tomorrow. Wow, you have a lot of fights tomorrow. You also have
Sam Alvey and
you have Alan Joban.
Yeah.
All three of which I'm gonna win.
Wow, dude, yeah, you're solid. You have all these fights lined up. Yeah, you're gonna win.
Also, Sam
You're probably
Alvey.
gonna win the first fucking quarter.
Also, Sam
I'll
Alvey
probably
fights
get
a
second.
lot. I don't know if you've looked at his record. He's already
Chris
fought
also has
4 times this
Magomed
year.
Bibulatov.
Bibulatov.
Bibulatov. He has Neil Magny, Michael Bisping, Sarah McMahon, JDS. And on his bench, he has Angie Overhill-Kill, Jorge Gamebred Masvidal, Max Bliss Holloway, and Joanna Jędrzejczyk.
You're right, I do.
Who just got confirmed for November 4th. Well, according to this. We'll see. I think they're jumping the gun. Magnus Warrior's jumping
They're jumping the gun as in, like, it's been announced without an actual announcement.
Oh, I got a number of fights, too. I got tomorrow Random Marcos in my flex. On the 9th, no, September 9th, I should say. I have to wait another month. I have Jeremy Stevens versus Gilbert Melendez. I also have Rafael Dos Anjos versus dude, he's fighting some big welterweight. I can't remember who the fuck it was now. Neil Magny. That's right. Yeah, wow.
Neil versus my guy.
Yeah. So that'll be me and you, a contested rivalry.
Hell you.
On the 16th, I have 3 fights. I have Kamaru Usman versus someone. I have Luke Rockhold in a main event against David Branch. I'm very confident for that fight. And then I have Mike Perry, versus Thiago Alves. Had to have good old Platinum on my team.
Yeah.
And then my bench.
That should be a fun pick.
I have Cowboy Cerrone, Holly Holm, Volkan Ozdemir, and Cynthia Calvillo. But I'm currently trying to get Rose Namajunas back, who I just dropped today.
Yeah, that was unfortunate the way that worked out, right?
But if Randa wins, then it's fine.
If Randa wins, then it's better for you in the long run because worst case, someone else grabs Rose and that frees up another person.
Is Rose gonna beat JJ?
That too. It's like, yes, possible.
It's possible. Of course.
I think she has the best possibility out of any of the girls that have fought JJ.
I think Gadea has a good shot still if he grabs. But I still fucks her, but she doesn't have the gas tank.
Not compared to Rose. Yeah. Like, I think Rose has a good shot just by catching her in like a crazy scramble, but should be fun. Either way, we will wrap this episode here. But if you guys want to hit us up, go ahead and send an email to the podcast, thesoundofviolence.com. And go ahead and hit us up on Twitter, TSOVPod. You can subscribe on iTunes. That'd be cool. Leave us a comment or leave us a review on iTunes. That'd be dope. We always appreciate the feedback. Let us know what podcasts we should be listening to, especially MMA ones. Let us know what we're missing out on. Let us know how we're fucking up. And, man, I'm just excited to hear back from y'all and fucking keep contributing and whatnot. So, I guess until next time, everybody, go check out this upcoming weird fucking Fight Night card. Everybody go watch the last EBI card that had the bantamweights, or strawweights rather, scrapping it out. Or flyweights, you're right.
125ers.
I went 0 for 2. I went bantam and fly. I went either side of the spectrum, but yeah, go check out the flyweight fucking scrap down at EBI and the combat jiu-jitsu flyweight scrap that happened. They smacked the fuck out of each other, and it was a lot of fun. Also, it was cool seeing Celine Haga and Amy Montenegro get their recap on in EBI after their Invictus scrap. And yeah, man, everybody go check that out and hit us up. Let us know what we should be doing better. Let us know how we're terrible. Tell us how you agree with us about how fucking weird Joel Supernods podcast was. And until next time, everybody, go do something decadent. We out.